Speak Radio Australia. Malloy with you doing, of course, you can't say that. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It is Monday. And, of course, the shaved chimpanzee over there, we like to call Mr. Carter, likes to throw me out the moment we go to air by rubbing his beard on the microphone.
It's not rubbing my beard on the microphone. It's ASMR.
Please explain.
It's like for people to hear the groovy sounds of my beard.
So not groovy. Oh, dear. We've got special guests in the studio now. I don't know how to introduce you, Mary. I really don't. Just please, Mary, please don't judge us. Actually, do judge us because you could be the lefty we've been looking for. I'm not sure. Look, we've been put the word out looking for lefty. So thanks for being part of. You can't say that.
Not totally.
Mary, you can speak
Happy
now.
to.
Yes,
Happy
cool.
to.
I'm just saying. Yeah. You're officially on. Over there, we've got Christian. Christian, great to see you, mate. First time on the show.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Yeah, you've invited me many times, and finally I can make it out here.
Yeah, but they were empty promises.
Yeah.
It was
true.
an empty invite. It was empty, rebuttal on that.
Bluff.
Yes.
Yeah. I just follow what you say,
Oh,
and we know where that ended up
exactly.
recently.
Yeah, into a wall recently.
Yeah.
That's all. For those who don't
Into
know,
a shitter.
Not quite.
not quite. Close, but not quite.
Yeah.
The old rule of obviously we were racing at the rally sprint down there at Kwinana together, and the rule is always if you're going to crash, take the co-driver's side in. Only problem is I was the co-driver that day, and he was clearly trying to kill me.
And we're from #SheBeRightRacing, and well, she was
Should
being
be right.
right. Yeah.
Well,
No.
he didn't succeed.
He didn't.
Well,
he didn't. I'll tell you what.
Truth be told,
Oh,
he was on the left-hand side of the toilet.
Ooh, yeah, this is
Ooh.
true. This is true. Now, enough toilet talk, because you can always know when Travis speaks that it's normally going to go down the toilet route. But I want to talk about more serious things. In fact, I even gave you a file, mate, okay, a piece of paper to write on to talk about the subjects we're going to talk about. So what, Mr. Carter, are we going to talk about today on You Can't Say That?
I was so prepared for tonight's session. I had the Blue Sky Factory logo still on from the Greater Wealth.
Right.
I hadn't repositioned the camera so that Christian was actually in the shot. So I had to get up and reposition the camera. And then the so-called topics, which Aaron went to a whole heap of trouble of actually printing up these beautiful forms to use.
Yep.
So I just scribbled on a piece of paper. Organisation 101.
101,
Awesome.
exactly right. Mate, you're not really worth a waste of the lovely printed paper. Really, you're not.
Save the
Yeah,
trees.
I can't argue that.
Save the trees. Now, let's hit the subject straight because we've got Mary in. Okay, we've got Christian in. Basically, we want to have other people's opinions. No good sticking ourselves in a fishbowl here. Okay, we want different views. And the people online, please don't be shy. Get online, ask questions,
Banner.
put comments forward. That would be great. Now, stop playing with the buttons there, mate. Okay, file into it.
Sorry, it needed our license number and all that.
That is important stuff.
So.
You are so organised. The good thing is you only had 2 hours to do that, and you've got it done in the last 30 seconds.
Effort 101. No, it seems to be like a running trend now because we had Robin in last week's show as well.
Yes,
we
we
asked
did.
the same question actually in the first time they came in.
It's true.
What does it mean to be a woman? So, Mary, this one's directly pointed at yourself. So I know Mary outside of the station.
Sure.
We've worked on a project together, and I thought, you know what, this is going to be awesome to get her in on this one.
This is my first time here, and how many minutes has it been? And it's quite an experience.
3 minutes of your life.
It's a bit loose.
Yeah.
So,
And
Mary,
you just wonder where it's going to go from here, right?
Oh, look, the only way is up.
yeah. So the thing is, like, there's I keep forgetting the dude with the beard. Like, he's got a gorgeous beard. Matt Walsh, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, Matt Walsh got the documentary. What does it mean to be a woman?
Now, what is a woman?
What is a woman? So, Mary, in your words, because this is a bit of a leading question to other topics as well.
Sure.
In your opinion, as a woman, what is a woman?
A woman is different to a man to begin with.
Good start.
She keeps us
And
on
has
track
a-
a lot of the time. Sorry.
That's
And-
probably one of the most simplest answers you could ever give.
Well, it says it all, doesn't it?
No,
Do you-
it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Because
Okay. Well, look, at least I gave an answer. That was the American Congress who were asked, a whole lot of them, they all asked, what is a woman? And they couldn't answer.
they were too
They were
scared.
too scared.
Yeah.
Too scared to answer.
Yeah,
So-
they couldn't answer.
But this
They
is
just
the-
all looked at one another dumb.
No,
It's
well,
almost offensive to say what a
Oh,
woman is
man.
these days.
I tell you what, I said this on Facebook today. I'm so sick of the bubble wrap generation.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
had enough.
Crazy.
Absolutely had enough. You
Like-
know what?
Roald Dahl books are going to be reprinted with fat and describing words taken out and politically corrected.
Right. Okay. Now we're diverse
Really?
around here.
Yeah.
We hang on. No.
I didn't know about that with Roald Dahl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It just happened. Do you know what? Okay, no. We're doing our bit for diversity here. Okay, so we've got a fat half Indian. We've got a woman. Okay, we've got a Christian.
Yep.
A Christian,
Christian.
Yeah.
Christian. Okay,
and me,
And a skinny man with a beard.
a shaved
That's
monkey.
right. There's shaved monkey. So we have covered.
So
our
that's the
demographics.
running joke. What Aaron always calls me because I always interrupt what he's doing. So
Or
he
rubs
reckons-
his beard on just to throw.
So
everybody off,
just
things
just
like that.
just to progress the
give that a crack. Yeah.
conversation.
Keep us on
I got
track.
3 men here, and I'm all by myself.
Yes.
So but
Um,
it was a great answer.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
I
know.
disagree. No.
So, well, 1 out of 3 doesn't count.
Well, exactly. Well,
Right. So,
statistically, I don't matter. Yeah.
so for each one, what is a man as opposed to a woman is your description.
Well, the reason why I think Mary's answer was such a great one is because she was right on the money. So when you have a look at the historical, what the role of a woman was and what the role of a man was, and so effectively what a man is and what a woman is,
Mhm.
the woman is not a man. The man's job was to go out there, hunt down the food,
Mhm.
supply, so to make sure they were protected,
Yeah.
get the food from, hunt the animals and all that sort of stuff, while the woman was there to nurture the family as a
Sure.
whole and
Keep the
to
home.
protect the internal family, where the man was protecting the external family. The woman was very, very nurturing and very caring on the inside,
Mhm.
where a man was very outwardly protective.
Sure.
So a man and a woman fundamentally were effectively opposites of
You
the
would think
family
But to
unit.
complement each other.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. And
So-
there
But
right.
to
Absolute
complement
word.
each
Exactly
other,
right.
not to oppose, not one higher than the other or more important than the other. It's a totally situation that was meant for each party to complement one another.
I didn't realize that till I became a father.
Yeah.
I'd go to work, come home, and the home was kept well. Like my
Oh,
partner.
hang on. Look at you push the patriarchy.
Yeah, no,
No,
but I couldn't do that. I just like leave crap on
Yeah,
the floor.
but
and
I mean,
stuff.
I'm teasing you about that,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there is
Oh,
something very
that's
nice.
bullying, Aaron.
I know. I know. God.
You hurt my feelings for him.
But I've lived the opposite, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I've been the one at home, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been the one doing the nurturing, looking after the house and whatever. And let's face it, I'm never going to protect.
That's a bit of a worry when you said you were opposite.
Oh, well,
He's a good chef,
mean-
though. Like, we compete on
I've got a lot of
Facebook
issues.
all the time.
Explain.
I've heard that it's not actually Aaron doing the cooking.
Oh,
No, hang on, we'll go to that. Them Spartan words. We'll cover that soon. No,
Yeah.
But no, but honestly, where the hell were we going here? Oh, that's
I know
right.
we've
No,
gone
no,
I
no.
around.
lost
What I'm
it.
saying is, okay, it's all about teamwork as far as I'm
Yes,
complimenting
for
each other,
sure.
right?
Yes.
Now, in my
Yes.
particular situation, okay, I had a job where I could work 16 hours, make a bloody good living, quite frankly, and then I could look after my kids. I could be at their sporting events. I could
Yeah.
take them to dancing. I could make their meals, prepare, look
Yeah.
after the house, right? Okay, and still do my job and make a good living. Whereas my wife at the time, you may have seen her from the Chucky doll just up there.
Yeah.
But like my wife at the time, she wanted to have a career, and why wouldn't you, right?
Yep.
She went out to do her thing, and that's great. She came home to a house with everything going on, and the kids fed, and everybody looked after her and that. Now, what I'm getting at is that that is not the gender norm. I get that, right? But it is ultimately, and it's not about. That certainly didn't harm my masculinity in any way, shape, or form. What it is, it's about going to okay, we're a team.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
and as a team, what
What works best?
what system can we use? Yep. What works best for our family?
Yep.
Yeah.
And our family, I didn't want my kids to be in daycare all the time.
No.
I didn't want my kids being raised by someone else. So I designed my business so that I could work while they were asleep or at school.
Yep.
And that's how I worked. And I worked bloody hard, make no mistake about it. But you do as a team, and you complement each other. And I think that this is what's got to stop this terrible competition. This is not a
Mm.
competition.
No.
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 We are made to complement each other. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
all this crap about you've got to have more women because there's not enough women in
Mm.
politics. Well, heck, isn't it more about who can best do the job?
Who's qualified, right?
So that's gender quotas. I love this one. So show me all the female sewage truck pumpers.
Well, hang on, look at you push the patriarchy.
What?
Yeah.
What?
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 or
Show me all the female plumbers. Show me all the female bricklayers out there.
mind you, there's a company I worked for, 1800 Got Junk.
Yep.
And they hire females. Now,
Sure.
when I walked in there, I was like, what the fuck? To be fair.
Yeah.
And within a day, this girl had just changed my mind on who can do what role. She drove the truck
Sure. So
beautifully.
you're watching people's capabilities, right?
Yeah. And if she couldn't do it, I could do one part. And together, we made a good team
Yeah.
and got more business because she was good at talking to the customers
Sure.
and on loading the stuff, but
Yep.
she was just as good as loading.
But hey, there are a few things that women can't do
Yeah, no,
that men can do,
yeah, and we,
and vice versa.
yeah,
Hmm.
but to
You
see
know.
that diversity in a rubbish collection
Yeah. Yeah.
job
Mm.
and heavy lifting,
Mhm.
a lot of the time cleaning out houses that don't look very nice, she had the control of us men.
Yep.
But as a team and a family, we've kept it as.
Yeah.
We got it done, and on a Friday afternoon or morning, we'd have a barbecue, have a chat on how things are going, and we became a really tight knit family.
And that's really good. But you know, there's a physicality to all
course.
of
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure.
And the physicality is that men are stronger than women.
Yeah.
And so there will be a few things that lifting heavy objects, shifting heavy objects, you can't do it because you don't have the strength.
No, but
But
she could
man
load the
was
truck better than
made
me.
with that strength. They
Hmm.
come with
Yep.
it at
Yeah.
birth, right? It's inherent. They have more strength than women.
And-
Therefore, they are more apt to do the heavy lifting. And it's
Hmm.
quite simple when
I
you
can't
look
believe,
at it that
I
way.
cannot believe the horrible sexist language you're talking right now. How dare you use facts when we need feelings here?
Well,
Right,
I guess if you really think about it, a woman could use a forklifter or something.
Now, okay,
Oh,
on that front,
oh.
we are here. We're upstairs. Okay, this is where the studio is upstairs.
It's stupid hot, and we need to reset the air
We
conditioner.
do. Shall we do that? We'll have a quick
Yes.
break.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Well, if you could just set us up for what we're going to be doing after the break.
Yeah, we don't keep talking about the rules of the family, but I want to talk about what happens when you butcher those genders.
Oh,
Did you like the way I said butcher?
Yes,
Ooh.
mate. You're an absolute poet. What can I say? It is.
Well, that's what they're doing, isn't it?
Edge Radio Australia. It is. You can't say that. We're going to have a little fun tonight. Wang Chung.
All right, internal mic's on.
All right. Cool.
So they can still hear you. So now we're talking to the people who are online sending messages. We got a couple of messages
Okay,
already.
so yeah. So right now that microphone is one listening to
Yep.
us, right? And just on one as Travis just said.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
so laugh if they hear the wrong one and I shut down there or there.
yeah, the girl I used to work with, she was better loading at the truck, and we'd get more business because we could get more of their stuff on, where us guys would just get rolled on.
Oh, she was, yeah, she
Yeah,
had
she
it
was the-
organized.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for you. You
In
had
the end, you could
space.
get two
Yeah.
loads of the truck in one load because she was better.
This
at
is one of the
tackling.
reasons why Rio is hiring more female truck drivers because they're more precise with the trucks
Yeah,
Yeah.
on general than what the guys are. Generally, the guys are getting there, get the load, get the hell out, and they cause a lot of damage to the trucks, especially when you're
maintenance is
remote
better
control.
with the women in charge as well.
Yeah, in charge, but the actual physicality side of things,
Yep.
the guys are actually better at physically doing the work. So
Yeah.
when I was a roof tiler, the elevator, it weighs anywhere between 80 to 120 kilos. I've never met a female roof. I've met two female roof tilers.
Yep.
None of them bumped the tiles across the roof. None of them loaded the elevator because the tiles were too heavy for them. But if you get them sheeting the tiles in, arrow straight every single time.
Yep.
They were slower, but they were neater.
Yep.
And pointing as well, they couldn't carry a full bucket on the roof because they were too heavy. So we lost a lot of time them going up and down, doing like new loads of the mud, so like the cement.
Yep.
But their pointing was so much cleaner.
Yep.
So the time that we made up in not cleaning up the roof after them, we lost in them going up and down. So, you know, you can have them. There's exceptions to every single rule,
Yeah, of
but
course there is.
majority, I don't know many, like, I'd say be lucky to be 0.5% of the females that are able to pick up on those elevators.
Yeah. For sure.
So most guys struggle to pick them up. So
Yeah.
generally it's a two-person job. I was just lucky because I was tall enough I could get my shoulder above the height that they need to get to. So I could actually get underneath and lift it up and then slide it in. But most of the guys were too short.
To lever it up.
So we are getting comments already.
Oh, good.
Cool.
So we have, I'm here with you, Mary. Automatically, a woman has a vagina and a man has a penis. Does anyone else think of Kindergarten Cop when they hear that?
That's exactly where I went.
So
Who was that?
it's coming up Facebook users. So
Okay.
they're on one of our personal accounts. It's probably on your personal account, Aaron.
Right.
I've lost my anti-personal device, known as a mobile phone.
Is that called deodorant?
Is that it over
No,
there?
no. So people can interfere in your personal life whenever they choose.
Oh, yes.
Mobile phones. Where's your phone?
Yeah, it's here.
Aaron.
Monica, could you help me, please?
Don't know why I use that voice. No idea whatsoever. Hey, could you help me out and grab my phone for me, please? I believe it's.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's on the.
It's on yours, Aaron. So we have Leanne Jones. So thank you
Oh,
for
cool.
jumping
Hello,
on, Leanne.
Leanne Jones. Leanne is very
Here
cool.
we go. Christy, we bring, where are we? Women bring life to the world, which is true.
This
You
is
can't
true.
argue with that. But
Well,
yes, you
it's-
can, because men do too.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, how?
Without us, you can't have life.
No, but we don't bring them into the world.
We do.
We
have
help
it.
create the
Yeah,
world
we
inside
do
the
it.
woman. But we
Yeah,
don't
and it's
nurture
the
it.
smallest bit too.
Oh, it's the most important bit.
But these
To
days
be
you can
honest,
do without that.
No?
So
Yeah,
with-
well, it makes
you know
it
what?
easy, guys.
Yeah.
You know what's
Uh,
just going back to the show we did with the Go-Go from Cold Fusion,
Yeah.
with the advances in AI technology and everything else, I don't think it's long until they start creating artificial wombs.
Oh, not surprised. And
If you want to get really, really creepy and
Yeah.
freaky, welcome to the Matrix. Let's see, we got
thanks
I
for
was a
bringing the comments
female
by
in
the
a
way.
males
Appreciate
dominated industry. It's not about gender, it's about capabilities.
Yep.
I worked in the rail for 9. Oh, hang on, here we go. We got more comments coming through. I worked in the rail for 9 years. Now I work in a nurturing role. Hard work working with men. Lol. Yeah, we're annoying as shit.
Yeah.
that. Is it on the desk? On that holder?
And
That's
Porter,
Done with my phone. Okay.
here we go. And Porter said,
Porter.
I feel like a woman today.
Porter.
Peter.
Oh, Peter. Porter.
Kolinoff.
Peter.
Porter.
Porter.
Is it Kolinoff?
There you go, mate.
Oh,
CILE man off.
Is that a comment?
Kolinoff?
man, he feels like a woman.
Yes, Shania
What's it
Twain.
Oh, yeah, we both got
The
that.
song.
So he's
I thought
quoting
it
a
was
song.
caller.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his last name.
I can't pronounce Pete's last name, so therefore I'm not going to try.
We'll call him Porter.
Well, I just like, as he is a friend, I can often, I like to call him Slav or Croatian or something like that.
Is he Yugoslavian or something?
Well, the thing is, but he and I joke about the fact that when we were growing up, we just your Slav mate, you call a Slav mate, right?
Yeah.
And then of course it became, are you Serbian, are you Croatian, and all the aggro and all the bullshit, And wouldn't it be nice to go back to the simple times where you just didn't care?
It was funny. I used to date a Serbian like when I first got divorced, and it was really fun. You should hear some of the crap that they talk about the Bosnians. Like
Oh,
it was
really?
hilarious. But the thing is, their language is
Oh,
near
fucking-
identical. Like they can understand each other,
Yeah.
but they just refuse to talk to each other because one's Bosnian, one's Serbian. It was hilarious. Macedonian Marvel, he
Yeah.
called himself.
Yes. Do you know what? I can't believe I did that. Sorry, my Masso mate. There you go. That's how much I care about where people
We
come
need
from.
to get
I
Peter in.
forget. I talked to him about this. I wanted to come in.
Well, how? He's in Macedonia.
No, he's not. I think he's in Chewin Hill, eh?
Yeah, Macedonia. Little Macedonia.
Oh.
Wait, is that what they call
where he's
China?
from? I'm very mental blank.
Uh,
I'm going to blame the heat.
Yeah.
There's again, it's because it's on your personal account, so it doesn't say give us a name. So Facebook user, Gus, is 10 years long enough to get over a relationship? Want to get? Wow, come on, Gus, clean it up.
Now, Gus, I'll give you some advice. The best way to get over someone is to get under someone else.
Well, that's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and clean this up. Want to get into clothing of the neighbour's girlfriend whose partner is a truck driver.
don't,
away truck driving.
Don't.
Don't
No,
wreck another
no.
family just
Yes,
because you're
no.
upset.
No.
Oh, he's coming in tomorrow.
I
he's saying.
might not agree.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, we
He's
had,
a truck driver. He's big.
I don't know.
He's capable of beating up the other guy.
Oh, so you're saying like WWF Royal Rumble sort of thing, and the winner gets the girl?
Well, I'm
Well, why
not
don't you
saying
just
the world
share
gets the winner gets the girl. I'm saying that the cheat gets a hiding.
Oh,
Okay, that's
yeah,
an
oh,
option.
that's true.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Porter said he's coming in at 2:20.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Is he doing a show
No, he's coming in for which
to fix the air conditioning?
No, wrong, Peter.
Any aircon
no, he's
specialists
coming
out
on
there want to come
between
give us a
shows.
hand?
He's coming in tomorrow between shows. Yeah.
Yeah. Put Chuck and Mike on.
No,
Have
I
the
want him in
Masso
on
out.
this show. This is
Yeah.
Peter's domain. Oh, yeah.
Have him for the Masso show.
Are we having a Masso show?
Yeah. Just get a Macedonian, a Serbian, and a Croatian all together and see what happens.
Nobody's going to talk to each
Yeah.
other.
At the start, we'll just have a girl. Bing, 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 and let him go to town.
There's a reason why I'm in charge of programming.
The other one,
Yeah.
what we could do is have the Southeast Asian show, and we'll have Papua New Guineans with Indonesians
Oh, that'd go well. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Just keep the helmet handy.
and the Chucky doll.
Okay, we've still got 4 minutes, guys. 4.5 actually, so it's all good. I've run a longer break. It's a 2-hour show. We're still a bigger break.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is we're already getting reactions.
Yeah, it sounds like we're having a bit of fun online. That's good.
Peter says he fixed the minds of women.
He fixed the minds of women.
I fix the minds of women.
Oh,
That's
does he?
literally his quote.
Gosh, he's
Oh.
kidding himself, isn't he?
Like any man who claims to understand a woman,
Remember that
They
amazing
wrote a book on it. They wrote a book on it.
Yes, it did.
What is it? Women are from Venus and men are from Mars.
and all the other ones are from Uranus.
Does that mean they're just
There's
all
your
full
other
of shit?
Well, yeah.
Oh my God!
Uh-huh.
Right.
They had to
Write
fit
this down.
They had to fit
Okay.
it somewhere.
Write this down. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and the other genders are from Uranus. Right?
I can see a
I'm,
sticker
I'm,
made.
I'm getting this book made right now.
I can't take credit to that one. I saw it on Stalkbook. I don't know who made it, but it was just too funny. It was like, I need the meme where the person's cutting the hole in the floor. It's like, I'm stealing this
I'm not
meme.
sure that they'd let me have that sticker on the card. It's bad enough that we got "We Love Boobs" on the card.
Why have you put your passwords on it?
I even got pulled over by the scrutineers to ask if it was about, and it's
It's a breast cancer.
Breast
thing, it's
cancer
called
thing.
there.
a friend of mine. She put the sticker on, and she's suffering from breast cancer.
Right.
And
Breast cancer awareness.
So-
so, to make a laugh about it, and
Yeah.
we put the sticker on to respect, and she loves it. She knows that she's always thought of when we're
Being
out there,
supported, yeah. Exactly right.
except from the little
It's
kids.
about
Go, "Lift your boobs on the car."
It's about intent.
Yeah.
Hey, well, about a tent.
Intent.
Oh, intent. I really misheard that. I thought you said
It's a
something
big
totally
word,
different.
Travis. It's a big word. Don't worry. You'll
It's
catch
easy
up.
words. Easy words.
I think we're starting a bit of a fight in the chats here. No
Oh.
women fix the minds of men. They go from Bachelor, that's the show, off the bitches in the kitchen.
Oh, that's my sister-in-law right there. I've got to tread carefully. I'll be going home to her tonight.
Don't never tread carefully. And never take marriage advice from me.
Well,
Marriage
she
advice
took car
101.
advice from me yesterday. We went out and bought her a car.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Yes, I saw
aren't you
that.
the one that crashed into a toilet?
Yes. Yes, and that's when I knew I fucked up.
And you are the one that flipped the car 3 times, put the alternator through the bonnet.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
impressive.
Yes.
Fiona
Yes.
put,
So to
put
finish
out
that story
Commodore.
where he's going, right, the
Somewhere.
bonnet that I had on my wall in those days is when we had to put in the official reason for retirement.
Yeah.
So I put alternator failure. That's it. It was peeking through the bonnets.
You
Well, I
ultimately
think we've come
failed.
across another argument here.
Oh,
Women are better drivers.
Oh!
So I can't say anything because the whole reason I didn't work for 8 years is because I parked a motorbike under a car while it was moving. So
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's
It's
for the
just
positive
proof
thing.
positive.
Oh, at least it was moving. If it was parked.
Yeah.
Right.
this is-
let's go. I may or may not have been speeding.
No.
I would never speed on a motorbike. Who speeds on a motorbike? Safest thing in the world.
Mm.
People used to pay me very well to drive cars. into the
Very
bush.
poorly. So you weren't a rally driver, you were a gardener. You were just
I was a
a few
gardener.
trees.
So, okay, to clarify, what sort of bush? Was
Oh.
there kind of like
Hang on,
Well,
we've got a heap of comments coming through
okay,
here.
well, my biggest crash was in Murray Pines, which is in out Jarrahdale Way for the thing. So
Oh,
You
Gus.
said people pay you well to drive in the bush. I'm just wondering what's
Yeah, he's
being
a gardener.
grown in the bush.
oh, right.
What hedges are you
yeah,
actually
if
trimming?
If it was those kind of hedges I was trimming, they would have been paid a lot better. I'll tell you right.
Aaron, time. By the way, Gus said,
20 seconds. We're up.
seriously, guys, swimming with sharks is safer than shopping for a woman. And I was like, wow, Gus. Gus.
Okay,
That's
hey, we're hot, we're hot, we're
disgusting.
hot.
Oh, we're on.
Get it? No, we're not, because I've got the wrong mics on.
It's Edge Radio Australia. You can't say that. We do it every single Monday from 4 p.m. and we're supposed to finish at 6, but hey, when does that really happen? I've just played a song. You guys haven't got headphones on, so you don't actually know what song I played. But I played, Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
It's fitting. It's really funny. Sorry, I've got to do this. I'm Fiona. You're a legend.
Oh, she is.
So Fiona said, and this is a perfect
Uh-oh.
segue into the
Uh-oh.
next section. So
Okay.
I'm gate crashing here, Aaron.
You are.
Yeah.
Fiona's gonna be
So
good for that
that's okay.
segment.
So she's talking to brother-in-law here,
Okay.
Christian.
Yeah.
It's okay. You could handle being a woman.
Ooh.
And talking
Ooh.
of being a woman. Hang on, I dropped my clipboard here.
You did say
While you're down there. So the other one is I've starting to see a lot of trends on TikTok, Facebook, where transgender people looking like drag queens after a big night out are going, hey, you won't date. And they use different words for dating.
Right.
It starts with F and sounds like a fire truck.
Right.
A trans woman, you're transphobic. And I'm like, no, you're just ugly as hell. I'm not touching
Exactly
you.
right.
So is it really transphobic to refuse to date a trans person? And if they try to say, if you don't have sex with a trans woman, and you get forced to because they claim that you didn't, wouldn't that then be rape?
Ooh, that's
Entrapment.
confusing.
Well,
Reverse
that's what
rape.
hit my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're forced to have sex with anybody of
Isn't that- yeah.
any gender,
Yeah.
it's rape.
No,
So-
no.
It's
Sorry.
not rape.
No, I will. Sorry, I have to fix that. This is how stupid our laws are. Only a man can rape. That's no joke. In the actual statute, if the word rape is used, it is you have to use it. It's about penis penetration, right? Now,
What happens if she's got a
well,
strap on?
hang on.
True.
We apparently. I mean,
Appendages?
I've seen this apparently in school libraries. Apparently, that women have penises now. So maybe they can rape. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I've been wrong all along. No, that is no lie. So if a woman rapes a man, it's not rape; it's sexual assault, which is a lesser offence.
That's
Right.
the same as if a woman kills a child, it's filicide, but if a man kills a child, it's murder.
Spot on.
And it's a lighter
Yeah.
sentence for the woman.
Yeah. And just a little side note on that, we're going to talk about pleasantries here. Over 70% of people, of children.
Hang on. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change the camera angle so it's just you and Mary here.
Okay,
Hang on.
come, Mary. All right,
You ready?
down the barrel.
Round one.
Wait, fight.
Okay.
Okay, right.
So thinking, go on.
Over 70% of children murdered are murdered by their mother. Fact, ABS figures.
Wow.
And who's behind ABS?
Oh, well.
Oh, them fighting words.
Uh-huh.
Shots
Now,
fired.
and you are so right on that, and I will actually give you credit on that because.
Oh,
yeah, 'cause-
whoopee. That's a big plus.
I know.
Hey, has that been filmed and recorded
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything?
recorded.
Oh, whoa.
Yes, but now I'll tell you the bits. No. No, I look absolutely.
Save that recording for me, Travis. Yeah,
Because
go on.
here's how it works, right? Okay,
Mhm.
whoever funds the study, okay, gets the result they want. Okay,
Of
So
course.
we'll go back to the Duluth principles, which all social policies in the Western world are written about. Do you know about the Duluth principles?
The what are principles?
Duluth principles.
No.
Oh, things are going to warm
That
up later.
sounds really, really dodgy when you laugh like that with that
Yeah,
really
doesn't it?
disgusting beard you've got.
No, I'll tell you why. Okay, so Duluth principles. The Duluth study was a study that all social policies in Western countries are basically written on, right? Now, the Duluth principles was a study done, and it was actually the findings.
Social policies. Let's
Social
go back a
policy.
step.
No. This is okay. Understand?
Social policies are usually
Crap.
nutcrackers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
they're nutty
Yeah,
ass.
absolutely. No, yeah, you're quite right. Absolutely. Now, one of the women involved in the study, okay, who was one of the professors.
You and your genders.
I
Far out. We're
know.
supposed to be talking about like the Uranus genders.
We'll get onto them later.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
becoming his
Yeah.
favourite
Yeah, they
subject.
can
Go
be the
on.
back
Yeah.
end of the show.
Oh!
Anyway.
Oh, truly.
Oh,
Go on.
it's so bad. We're doing this especially for you, Mary. Now.
That was thigh slapping good.
Oh, anywho, right? Okay, so
It
what?
was funny because
Understand
you're
this.
clapping your
Are
chest.
there any other women out there?
Fiona's out there, I'm sure she's.
Yeah,
No,
good.
but people
on.
need to know this. So, okay, so
Yes.
social policies are
Christy
written
as
on
well.
the Duluth. Duluth was a study that was done. The findings were found in the 80s. In the 80s, they basically discovered, shut up, Travis, this is really important because this is unbelievably sexist against women, in my opinion. Basically, yes. So, right, because I'm all about equality, right? We joke about things, but I'm all
Yeah.
about equality, right? So, all right. The reality is, this is the findings were that, guess what, Mary? You're a victim. You were born a victim. Guess what, Christian?
What?
You were born a perpetrator. Men are perpetrators, women are victims. That is what all Western policies, social policies are written on. The Duluth study, the Duluth principles. Now,
Well, who the hell was Duluth?
well, Duluth.
You want me to find out? I have an amazing thing called
Yeah,
Duck, Duck,
find
Go.
out.
Duck.
And where is he locked up?
No, and hang on, it goes better.
Probably
goes better.
assassinated.
So one of the scientists, okay, and always we know, believe the science, right?
Uh-huh.
So, okay, one of the scientists involved, a woman, actually came out several years later, and she said, actually, we deliberately got the results that we were paid, that the funder, okay,
Mm.
had asked for. Right now, that happens, and this is not unique to the Duluth.
No.
This is how all studies are done. Okay,
Yep.
studies are manipulated. I have this very saying that I always say, but I'll tell you what's based on fact. 76% of statistics are made up on the spot. Okay.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay. Now, the fact of the matter is,
Except the ones you were talking about the other
of
night.
course,
Yeah.
they're spot
Mhm.
on.
Mm.
Right. Okay.
Secret women's
Here we
business
go.
Oh,
going on here.
Would that be?
Here you go. I've got
would
it
that
here.
be the
Hey, hey, hey.
84.1% of cases in the family court that actually erases the father from the child's life?
Hang on, aren't we supposed to be
84.1?
doing that in one of the later
we'll
segments?
get
So
to
you
that.
guys wait there.
Okay.
I've got the
They're
Duluth model
creating
here.
segues.
What is the Duluth model? In accordance to the domestic abuse intervention programs. So that just says everything.
Mhm.
The Duluth model offers a method for communities to coordinate their response to domestic violence.
Well, that's lovely. Now
Yeah.
go on to the stats.
It was conceived and implemented. I love the way they say conceived. Implemented in a small working class city in northern Minnesota in 1980-81. Activists in the battered women movement.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yes.
Now, and I will also go further on this. So Minnesota, okay. Minnesota, okay. If we're gonna find a town, a city in America that is more socially corrupt than Minnesota, you're going to have to really struggle because
Wasn't Minnesota the one that led the charge to defund the police? And then the people who were replacing the police all had AR-15 assault rifles?
bingo.
Yeah.
Also,
You
but
can't
that's
take
not
no
even
guns.
that's not even where I was going to go. Minnesota test is a personality test that's used to actually remove men from their families as well. And the great thing about that, this is the great. Minnesota is pretty much the home of nut job psychologists. Okay, that's the
Mm.
reality. Okay, then a nut job. I'm being nice because I actually want to use other words here. Right. The fact of the matter is, the dirtiest psychology universities in the world come from Minnesota. Now, we're going to use the Minnesota test, which is done to test for personality disorders, which is used fundamentally to remove fathers from their children's lives. Full stop. That's what it's about.
Mm.
Okay. Right now, has to be. Hang on. Okay, I'm being wrapped up here, but I'm
No, there's comments coming through.
Okay,
I want to.
I'll say this very quickly.
right.
This is important. This is important. So this is being used. Now that study was actually released. Now this is again what is happening right now to decide, right, the fate of children.
Sorry.
This is about children.
Mm.
No. Be
No.
very serious for a minute here.
Yep.
Okay. Guess when that study came out? Okay, and was released.
1980.
1941.
Do you know
So
the
we are
family law
using
family
an
law
80-year-old
court was made in 45, wasn't it?
No, the
No,
family
no.
court. No.
Sorry, the Family Law
75,
Act.
75. 75. Another absolutely disgusting thing that a woke lunatic named Gough Whitlam.
No. We'll get into that one later because Mary's full bottle on that
We'll
one.
go. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
go there later.
Definitely
All right.
use that one later and that's actually one of the
They're bottling
last
you up for
topics.
later,
Yes.
Mary.
I intentionally put it
It's
last
been
because that way it
saved.
can be
Yeah.
cut
Yeah.
off. So anyway, so going to these comments. So Peter, legend, my two ex-wives raped me, financially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I often use this term. Yeah. So my first wife, she was divorced Barbie. She came with all of my accessories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
But there's so many men out there that screw it up for good.
No, do you know what? You're not right. And I'll
Oh,
tell you
okay.
what. Yeah, and
No,
I,
no,
and I straight
save,
up, right?
save that later. We got more comments.
All right.
A
Yeah.
woman can be charged with rape if they. This is from Fiona. If the person has been given a drug which prevents them from giving consent.
Say that again.
So apparently, a woman can be charged. It will probably be state based.
Yeah,
So
okay,
different
yep.
states will have different
Sure.
laws. So remember, we are in WA, Western
Sure.
Australia. Wait a while.
Yeah.
So Fiona has said a woman can be charged with rape if the person has been given a drug which prevents them from giving consent.
No,
So if you
unfortunately,
give them a
you're wrong.
roofie or
And I'll tell
something.
you right now, as I say, because you have to have a penis.
Remember, would be state based.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I just intervene for a moment? Because I kind of thought that you could also, I could be wrong,
Mhm.
not often, but sometimes.
It's 94, I think was the last time.
No, that's how many mistakes you made in the last test. So,
Okay. Isn't it rape if a woman stimulates a man when I will use that word because I
Nice
can't
word.
think of another one.
thank you, Mark.
And I'm trying to be
I've
nice.
got many.
Got me through high school.
I'm standing up.
Oh, I said I'm trying to be nice.
And the real
Okay.
Slim Shady, yeah, okay.
So just to
She called me quiet
continue,
earlier.
Please.
um,
decorum.
so- yeah, you can try. Okay. So to continue with, oh no, I'm not going to use that word.
Stimulate the man.
yeah. No, I was going to say continue with the
Can we
point.
get some thumbs up for the
But-
simulate, please?
Okay. No. So do you get the gist?
I know I'm stimulated.
That,
wow,
you
Mary,
know-
your word selection is amazing.
If, oh gosh, they're just. This is hopeless.
Someone say
Okay,
come
I'm
on
just
already.
going to keep persevering here.
She's pushing
Okay.
through.
No, shush.
Ian, you're a legend.
Okay. All right. Okay. So
Right.
I think getting back to the question.
Yes.
Okay. Is that rape or is it not? Because it's no consent there, and it's not something the man has chosen to do or wants to do. Okay.
He probably wanted to.
No, not necessarily. Who were you talking about earlier? Ugly
Yeah.
something or other.
Oh,
Yeah.
if
Go
it's
on.
the trans person, like,
Yeah.
if he's had the drug and he's out of his mind, I don't.
Well, even if he hasn't had a
because
drug.
How do you prove? Well, you can do a drug test. There's so many tests that you can do, like mouth swabs, all sorts. Form of
Yeah.
drug and alcohol tester. So there's so many tests you can do to prove if someone's had a drug within the last 30 days.
Okay.
But the problem is working out how much of a drug they've had.
Gotcha.
So let's say, what do they call them? Roofies. So if someone's been roofied, they're totally unconscious. Or another one, ketamine's another one, they'll do it. Some people argue tramadol with alcohol or something else, they will do it.
Tramadol's just
How
dangerous.
do you know?
You don't have to
whether it
give
was
them clues. Okay.
Oh, it's common knowledge, most of this
Okay,
stuff.
good.
So how do you know that it was self-administered or the person doing the assault gave it to them? Because that's the other one as well.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it
that's
comes to the
simple.
point, and also the other.
That's
person-
simple. Why do you have to knock yourself out to have sex? I mean, come on, who
Yeah.
does?
So, but at what level?
I've
Because
met
you
some
can-
ugly women.
Hey, I'm looking at one. So for those who don't know, Aaron dressed up as a woman, go to the family law court. Amazing pictures. I think absolute hero.
Oh, dear. I'm a very
Really?
Well, there's so many comments coming through. Some of these are hilarious.
You
Just going
didn't
back
know
to
that, Mary?
Minnesota.
I said if they wouldn't treat me with equality as a man, then clearly I'll be treated with respect as a woman.
And how were you treated?
With respect.
in the
No,
jail
true.
room.
No.
Did you do?
Only
Did you
time-
get tested like
Only time I was, no, they were frightened. They didn't know
Crocodile
what the hell
Dundee?
to
Did
say.
they come up to you and go,
No,
No, they didn't do the Nick
No,
Dundee.
but they did surround me with 5 guards, which I thought was nice. I felt very special. There.
male and
Well,
female?
somebody
or just
picked
male?
up on it then.
Really? You mean I can't pull this off?
It's really bad. After comments you were saying before, and now you're saying you can't. Anyway, going back to the Minnesota test and all that. So
Oh, we're back
Sharon
there.
said Minnesota, say no more. Then she
We're back
followed
in
it up
Minnesota.
with,
Yeah.
Green Day is from Minnesota, turned way to the left.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure No Effects with the used to be Fat Mike from Fat Records
Mm.
is now also claiming to be a trans, and I'm pretty sure he's from Minnesota as well.
Yeah, it's a completely screwed up place.
Yeah.
Simple
Oh,
as
right.
that, Yeah.
Fat Mike is just rancid.
It
Now. He
is-
used to be
it
such
is-
a good
it is-
guitarist.
It is the failed psychology student capital of the world. So if you
Mm.
if you're broken, you've got psychological problems, head to Minnesota and get yourself a degree. Yeah.
Mm.
It's kind of the early childhood studies or media class of.
Well, and
Yeah.
I'm old enough to remember, or probably
We really need to wrap this one.
35, 40 years ago,
Yep,
it was psychology. The psychology comes in.
sure.
You can reason with a child. You must not smack them. You must not discipline them. Well,
We use
hey,
boredom.
what do we got now?
Oh,
Oh, boredom's. My son comes in and goes, I'm bored, and he's got a Switch, he's got this, and he's got
Yeah,
that.
see,
Yeah.
our kids don't have that. If they come up to me saying I'm bored, I've said, yeah, there's the door outside. Go play on the
Mind you,
trampoline. Go play outside.
Xavier's good at going outdoors, and he goes,
But I
"Oh,
mean,
I'm bored."
we've got a whole generation of kids that are just wild
mhm.
and feel entitled
Oh, yeah.
and violent and
That's
you
because
know-
they've always got what they've wanted. They've never been told no. They've never been shown.
well,
And you're
because
not-
that
but
was
you're
the
not allowed to
psychology.
say
That's
no
the
in even
whole
childcare these
psychology
days.
of it. You
Oh,
know,
They
this
have
little
to
darling mustn't be
say no in a
smacked no
roundabout
matter what
way.
he's
Not
done.
over each other, guys. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so this little darling
They're
mustn't be
rookies.
smacked. Okay, it doesn't matter what he's done because you can sit him down. He's a logical little human being, and you can rationalize with them.
The
You know
people
what?
who say that
Really?
also say you've got to ask a baby for consent before you change their nappy as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
Yes,
Parker would say
exactly.
yes.
I am a 50-year-old man. Okay, The
last
man that I-
51.
50, and I'm holding on. And also, I'm a very different man to the man I was when I was 20. Right? Okay, completely different human being. Right? So my ideals.
We'll believe human. Go on.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah. I've got
Your
photos.
humour still sucks. Anyway, we need to go to a break.
do
We're
need to go
about
to a
10
break.
minutes over.
Oh, wow.
Now, because of Mary's conversation, I was really looking for the word. I was looking for the song "Stimulation." I couldn't find it, but I found one from when I was a teenage boy, and that gave me a lot of stimulation on
Whip it, isn't it?
It's
It's
no-
whip it,
it's-
isn't it?
Whip it good.
turning Japanese. No, it's no, neither of those.
No,
two.
K-pop.
Oh, it is. Wow, knees so good. Now,
What?
now, if you were my age and you were watching as a teenage boy watching MTV on a Friday night,
No, Rage, 6 a.m. in
Oh,
the
this
morning
got
with
me
all the
through.
punk music on.
it's Wow Knees. Edge Radio Australia. You can't say that.
Mary, you're a legend.
Good value, 100. Oh.
I can't believe how many people were jumping in with sex jokes as well. Oh, God, it's so hot. No, the conversation too, but temperature hot. Aaron,
Yeah.
fix the aircon.
Okay, I will use my magic wand.
Harry.
Just-
Talking of Harry Potter,
Yes.
so someone turned around and
I was
they
setting up Mary for a joke then, but
no, they removed all the wands from Harry Potter and replaced them with firearms. Hilarious.
is that right?
Yeah, so there's this one scene where she goes, "I'm really sorry about this, Neville. Stupefy," and like turns to him like, "Ugh," and then he falls over backwards. She goes, "Stupefy," and it's a little handheld glove. He goes, "Bang!" and he just goes. "Ugh."
Could I
Within
grab
half
one?
an hour, the video was
What?
banned on all platforms.
Is that
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
wow.
Like, it's a joke.
So
Like,
you
get
put a
over it.
gun instead of a wand and it gets banned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bit I find the funniest is that Harry Potter, like everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's such a creative storyline." No, it's not. It's just Star Wars with really shitty lightsabers.
I've never watched Harry Potter. I don't like it.
Darren Fuel.
You know what might work? Big chunk
I've
of
got one
dry
over
ice.
there.
What?
Travis, that's my card. Next to the moe. Don't mix them
Oh,
up.
the white powder.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh dear.
Just don't see the gun. Yibbida.
All right. So when we come back, it'll be
Where's the
it'll
checklist?
be 9 minutes to. So we've got 7 minutes.
So I did not expect that first one to go for an hour. We've nearly gone for an hour.
No,
on
we
that
had a
first-
break, didn't we?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah. Okay.
But that next one just went.
Yeah, I know.
I was expecting this one to move to the next topic, but yeah.
There was
Yeah.
never any resolution on anything we talked about. We go.
The stimulant. Just
That's right.
It's Mary with her all the dirty talk. Throwing this one out.
It's the old school pillow talk with Dr. Phil.
Oh.
I'm staying right away from this.
Travis,
Too late.
That's why you're
Too
here.
late.
You know what's something like if in 2025 I'm successful, we won't say what I'm trying to be successful in. You know this is not come up in.
Yeah.
And you know what my response is gonna be? And
And you can't say
Can't
that.
say that.
can't say that. Hey, I didn't say it. Mary did. There's something about Mary.
Oh.
You know what we need? We need a sex ed show called Something About Mary.
Yes,
And we'll
please.
just talk about everyday issues, but we'll see.
There's
how
a
many,
think on it too. There you go.
Oh, right.
We'll see how many sexual
It's got a bit of
connotations
sticky
we can put
situation.
into a general everyday conversation.
Mhm.
I think you'll be fine with that, Mary.
Well, we're always going to have.
fun.
We were going to have a segment in this show that's never ever happened because it's just never happened. We're going to have, oh, Karen! Right?
Oh.
Oh! What a catch! What a catch!
Spider-Man all the way. So, but there's no webs coming.
Yeah, I'm sure your hands are very sticky, mate, but there you go.
No
I'm gonna leave
flies
that
on him.
alone because you're talking about the wife there.
Ooh.
So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm pulling down my butt crack.
4
Yeah,
minutes.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
The sweat's
Needed to
helping
know
there.
that. Yeah.
Is this evaporative?
It
aircon
really
going
is a
there,
need
or-
to know thing.
Trying to.
What's with the wide shot, by the way? We've got the camera at 70.
When we come in from the breaks, we chuck in the wide shot because it looks cool, and then we switch over to the brick shot.
Are you actually switching it?
Yeah.
Can you get the keyboard that closer so it's easier for you or not?
No, I just use the iPad. I was too lazy to grab it, so that's an honest answer.
Or
I
the
was
girls'
tempted to
phone?
send you a message saying to grab yours, but I can't be bothered.
It was too much trouble to text.
No, because I knew you're not going to answer. Oh, been fun words. All right, before we come back.
Keep going. Yes.
Oh, perfect timing. Down to one line.
Okay, so when we come back in 3 minutes.
So when we Kim Kardashian.
Yes.
So anyone who watches Chris Pratt will understand that joke.
I might not have a bed when I get home. Apparently I'm on the couch.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was so?
I'm not
offensive?
sure, but
And it's
I've
funny
got a
you-
bit of a message from Christy saying,
Christy or Fiona?
Christy and Fiona are both listening together. And
So is Fiona Christy's sister?
yeah.
They're not twins, are they?
No, they're not.
Okay. Do they look alike?
This is
No,
your
no, they're,
wife and her sister, right?
yeah. They keep me in line at home and the rest of the.
I'm sure there's videos about this.
Watch out, she's a pure romance person as well.
Oh, of
Oh
course.
yeah, those videos are very romantic.
Yeah.
Step brother, help me! I'm stuck in the
what
washing
are they
machine.
upset about?
I'm not sure. She hasn't quite said.
Does Fiona call you step brother?
Well, they need to qualify what they're upset about.
I will ask if they're not listening.
They are listening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
How long? We've had so many comments come through. Play UOENO. Mary, Kurt, those guys on the typo. Mary, keep those guys on their toes.
who's that
Keeping
from?
the-
Who's that from?
It's Facebook user. Hang on.
That's
And
nice.
Gwenda, my gosh, you are looking radiantly awesome, Aaron.
Oh,
Oh,
Thank
It must
you,
be the
Gwenda.
lack
you
of
had a fan.
aircon.
Because if you knew how I felt inside my
He's got more than one fan
Oh,
going in here
so
at the moment.
Christy Watson.
Yeah, that's my partner.
Oh, so she's the one that's not having a crack at you.
Yeah.
You're in the shits, mate.
Yep, she's
I
messaging me
wanna
as
know
I speak.
Why?
Do you know what? I'm a
Why?
big believer. I hate happy wife, happy life, I believe.
Oh, hell no. Talk
Well,
to each other.
yeah,
Have the
that
fight.
is
happy
the
spouse,
key.
happy house, right?
No,
Everybody
bullshit.
should be working to
Bullshit.
be happy.
Bullshit. What it is, be
No, that's
truthful
pretty
and
true.
have the fight so you understand each other.
No, one thing Christy and I do is if I've
No, we have some
chastised
help,
Xavier and I think I haven't done it right, I will ask, did I fuck up? So she
yeah.
can.
Hey, there's children listening. There's not.
No,
I hope there's not.
but no, she will go,
There's not
no,
children
you did
anymore."
this wrong, but I support you and I will do the same with her. But
And what happens if
Apparently,
you don't agree with her discipline?
we have viewers from
We
Laos.
talk about it, to be
Oh,
fair.
really? How
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're going global.
We've
I
learned
know we had
to-
a couple of people.
Communicate.
Yeah.
We had people from Russia listening in and Ukraine, but I think that's Dr. Natalia Nan.
Yeah.
Because she's over in she's Ukrainian, so she's actually on the front lines. She's a doctor, so she's helping out the wounded on that one, like the civilians.
Right.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be interesting. That's the one that got jailed because she's a dentist, a medical dentist, so she
But
broke
you can't see
COVID
it,
restrictions,
basically.
got jailed because
we're
she
hot,
saved
shut
someone. I am hot. We're
Hey, Radio Australia, how you doing? Malou with you. We're playing a little game that we like to call You Can't Say That. Now, you didn't hear him because I kept his microphone off for as long as I possibly could. The shave monkey over there, mate. It's good to see you. And whenever I say that, you know I'm lying.
you self-stimulator.
Oh, you got me, baby. I tell you what. Why have all of a sudden I think about the movie Wild Things? But never mind.
I don't know what they're talking
no, of
about.
course not.
Web of lies,
Awesome.
Mary. Web of
I know
lies.
I'm secure with sleeping on the couch tonight when I get home. So
I really want to know. So,
It's
Christy,
just a
please
bit of
tell
a
us.
progression. That's all. You're now sitting on the couch, sleeping on the couch. So, okay.
I might be staying in the studio for.
No, trust us. It's got no air conditioning.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
here.
I don't want to be here. No,
You don't want the birds coming in the windows.
it's so true. Now, we've covered some hell. We've started a lot of topics. I don't think we've actually resolved
No,
anything.
But we're
I was
running
We've
out of time.
stimulated some
We're
topics.
really running out of time.
We're running out of time, so we got actually. Well, I didn't think it was a very large lit topic list, but we're running out. So there was actually a lot of the conversation has been around the family law court. So there was a gathering over the weekend.
There was.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it because I was working. But it was talking about the new changes in WA. Is it WA or federal? Federal changes that Albanese is bringing into the family law court, which
Yes.
makes all the past inquiries and all that sort of stuff absolutely useless because they're going to change absolutely everything. The government has quietly said, "Oh, give us a submission and then we'll take it into account," and not told anyone about it. So thankfully, I think it was Clint from Family Children's Rights Australia,
Yes.
Professor Augusto Zimmerman, Phil Cooper.
Yep.
I'm not sure what group he's from. Because it's just Phil.
Yes.
He's a part of all of
He
them.
was the MC. He was
He was
just
the MC.
MCing.
Who else was there?
Kate, who I can't pronounce Kate's last name, a fantastic family rights sort of activist here in Western Australia. So,
Was that all the speakers?
No,
I
also-
thought there was one more.
No, there was. There was also the pastor from CRC Church.
That's up this way, isn't it?
Yes, in
Yeah.
Mangara. Yep.
So the reason they got everyone together is they wanted to get as many people to submit
Right submissions.
That's
submissions. Thank
Travis.
you very much.
You're very welcome.
I love it when you get those brain farts every now and then. You just totally forget what you're talking
Oh,
about.
mate, you've got more
Um,
flatulence than all the cows on earth. But there you go.
Ask my
All right.
wife; she agrees, especially when I'm asleep. Apparently.
I'm guilty of
So
Coach came in, Mary, you enjoying the experience here?
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, so what I didn't have the pleasure of being there. So one of the reasons we actually wanted Mary to get onto the show is because her and Aaron nearly came to blows, full fist.
I didn't come to blows.
There was no
Oh,
blows.
no.
There's a reason why
Yes,
you guys
no.
can't see it on camera. We've actually got a red
I didn't
helmet
come
here.
to blows. Aaron came to blows.
There was no blows.
Well,
Well,
only because you were at the other end of the hole.
It depends who's. No, I won't say that. It was a drug reference, and we'll keep it clean.
Oh,
Um,
please do. Yes.
Yes. So anyway,
I was supposed to be speaking, and Aaron was yelling over me. That's
that's
simple.
the
Aaron was
usual
supposed
Aaron
be
thing to do.
interrupting. That was his.
Is that why you brought in the radio? So we
Yelling
didn't
over me was really more to the point.
Just
Go
hit
on.
him or give him a nipple gripple.
No,
Yeah, you'd like
thank
that.
you.
So the questions
I
I,
can think of other
wanted,
things.
as someone who hasn't seen my son for 6 years, what was hoped to have achieved with this actual meeting? What did they want?
Okay.
Is it just a submission,
Look,
or
it
was
really
there
comes
more?
down to this. Okay, so what's happening? We've had the family law court inquiry, a Senate inquiry that was completely railroaded, like you can't believe.
Like
Now,
COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. By Marissa Waters, apart from anything else, okay, who was the she's a far left extremist, Greens senator. The woman is completely out of touch, and it literally is a big ball of misandry. Okay, literally cannot stand men. Right,
Literally, the
Now-
inquiries that I watched, she was always late.
right.
Every
Yeah,
single time they kept having to repeat things just for her. Oh, Senator Waters was late. Can you please repeat what you said before?
It was a
And wasted so
disgusting
much
thing.
time.
Now, I will be straight out. I'm going to tell you about this inquiry because I was involved in this inquiry. And here's what happened. Right.
Sorry, there's a comment that's just come up. Funny, but I can't put it up.
Now, okay.
Yep.
So we were now hang on. This is why submissions are important. but to a point. All right. Now, I want everyone to make submissions to the family court, to this inquiry, and to make this go forward. Travis, this is serious, mate, and I really appreciate just a moment to none of the queasing and carrying on in the background. Right now, this is important, right?
Yep.
So, okay, we need to put submissions in. We need to stop what's going on. What we're having is they are literally pulling parts out of the positive things for the that are in family law. They want to take those away, and they basically want to encourage parental alienation. That's really what it comes down to remove one parent from the children's lives. Now, that in every level of matrix you've got is bad for the child, right? Every single now.
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. Now, when it comes to education, when it comes to further drug use, when it comes to alcohol, everything, children are better off with two parents, obviously. But if they can't have two parents, then a responsibility and time with both parents. Obviously, there's exceptions. Obviously, there's reasons why some parents can't be involved, but that's a very, very, very small part of the game here, right? So what happened in this inquiry, straight up, is the politicians and no, I'll tell a lie, the lobbyists controlled it. So what happened is I actually put my submission in, and very, very detailed submission, and I actually went to great detail and actually named the people who were involved, and I actually named a judge that broke the law, a family law court independent children's lawyer who broke the law, two in fact, and a special expert witness who broke the law. I did that, right? Okay. As a clear example of what actually takes place in the Family Law Court Act. Now, they asked for that information. I gave that information. So they wrote back to me and said, oh, I'm sorry, we can't take your submission because you've named people, and therefore that would be a breach of Section 121 of the Family Law Court Act. No, it wouldn't be. Because Section 121 basically means that we can't publicly name people who are child abusers, right? So family court judges, independent children's lawyers, special expert witnesses, people like that who abuse children on a daily basis, we can't name them because that's an offence and I'd go to jail for a year, right? So they said that they can't do that because of that. That's absolute 100% lies because it was a Senate inquiry, and the Senate inquiry actually was above that, and therefore that was not actually a consideration.
So on top of that,
furthermore, hang on.
Yeah.
So, okay, you know what? I'm not easily beaten. I'm not a guy who sits on his bloody hands here. So I said, yeah, no problem. You don't want that. So I sent them back one, and I had actually redacted every single reference to every single person. No one was named. I even covered up their genders, okay? Only two genders, but I covered them up, right? Put it through, and guess what? Oh, no,
Still can't be accepted.
Still can't be accepted. Now, they had like 20-odd thousand written submissions that were not allowed. Also, I was told that I'd be speaking publicly here in Western Australia when they had their forum here, and then because of COVID, they cancelled the forum. They use Section 121, they use terms of reference to completely control this narrative. The fact of the matter is, the lobbyists are destroying children's lives. Corrupt family law court judges are. Now, the people who have the real power in the family law court, people think that judges are just useless. And honestly, they are. Okay? They are completely not in touch with the reality, and they're quite frankly just very dangerous. Generally speaking, well, they're all narcissists, but most of them are also sociopaths as well. But okay, forgetting about that little small detail, the people who actually make the decisions in the family law court are independent children's lawyers and special expert witnesses, right? They are called, in the case of the family, the independent, I'll get it yet, in case of the special expert witness, people say, don't upset the gods of the court, right?
Yep.
These are the people who decide the fate of your children. These are the people who decide if your children are going to go on to have horrible lives, have drug issues, have behavioral issues, are going to have horrible existences, right?
Can I just make a mention?
Absolutely.
Okay, in my experience of 20 years of advocating, there is a court expert. He's done 600 plus court things. To my knowledge, and that's limited because I'm no professional.
Sure.
I can give you 4 case histories where he has sent children to abusers. One of them actually jail for 5 years, where people have gone to him and in the interview process have told him of the children disclosing. And in one instance, it was boys disclosing on sexual activity. And his take on that was boys will be boys.
Wow.
And he sent these 2 little kids, a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old, to an abuser.
Disgusting. Sick.
And it took years of trying to get the child abuse unit to listen, to try and get anybody, politicians, anybody, just to try and get somebody to address the fact that these kids are being abused years before it got to a point in the court.
Mhm.
And I'm going to say this is with Judge Moncrief.
Oh, hold me right now, because I forgot I'm fighting everything in my body. Go on.
I didn't say that.
So he sent the 4 and 5 year old to this father,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So years go by,
Sure.
and there's an older child who's a half brother.
Okay.
So he's apprehended because the Letleys have gone to their dad.
Yes.
So he takes 2 years to get to the family court. The mother won the family court, no order.
Okay.
But the magistrate makes a second order, which turned out on appeal to the Supreme Court to be an unlawful order.
Not surprising.
But that order was to jump the whole thing into the family court.
Right.
And so then they jumped a no order into the family court
Yep.
to establish residency, right?
Mhm.
So the department's lawyer, Bill Corrie,
Mhm.
he goes into the family court and he accuses the mother of everything that's been discounted in the children's court,
Right. Okay.
which was why there was no order, right?
Sure, sure,
Because she
sure.
proved she wasn't an
Yep,
abuser, right?
Yep. Good.
So he goes and he has all the same allegations all over
Mhm.
again at the family court and then runs out.
Right.
So Moncrief takes everything over
Yes.
into his jurisdiction,
Yep.
right? We put in a contravention order.
Yep.
Never heard.
Yeah.
2-3 years later, never heard. It was the wrong wording. You hadn't said that right. You didn't do
Mhm,
that right. We can't do this. He found excuses never to hear a contravention hearing, which
Sure.
is an important emergency hearing.
Absolutely. Of course it is.
So 7 years later,
Yeah.
now accumulated in this young child, an 8-year-old, 9 years
Sure.
later,
Yeah.
under Moncrief,
Yes.
the court expert goes and gets an order
Mhm.
to speak to the children because the father won't allow it.
Okay.
So in that time frame, while he knows that there's an order,
Yep.
he packs the children up and he dumps them with the mother.
What?
The father packed the children up and dumped them with the mother because he knew that the children had disclosed
Sure.
to
sure.
the
Yeah. Absolutely.
children's
Yep,
lawyer, right?
Yep.
So there's an emergency hearing first thing the next morning.
Mhm.
And Moncrief hands over residency to the mother,
Mhm.
telling the father, let it go now, walk away so that you can walk away with a clean slate.
Wow. Well, I have so many things I'd like to say about that particular judge right now, but I will spend a year in jail if I tell everybody or anybody what that man does.
Well, I've named him because I've got all of the court documents. So, hey,
Well,
challenge me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, hang on. Here's what it comes down to. Now, we've got a picture of someone here in the corner of my eye that makes me want to screw the piece of paper up. Okay, we've got a picture here of John Quigley, an article that I'm looking at.
Before we go there, could I just
Oh,
In-
yes,
And I've got
Yeah.
one jumping on something you
Dude.
said earlier before as well, because in regards to the inquiries, that's what they did to you on your inquiry is a load of shit. So I'll come to that one in a minute.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so just a bit of information. We're talking about the parent alienation syndrome, right? Which has been used powerfully.
Oh, don't you know that doesn't exist?
Oh, yes,
Oh,
it
no,
does.
No,
And it's
no.
called PASS, parent alienation syndrome.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary, but
What's
I'm
the second
sorry.
S stand
But
for?
if you speak to the Australian government and the West Australian Family Court, there is no such thing. In fact, they've done
Okay,
no
well,
research about it. Apparently,
Aaron,
Just
tell
because
them
it's
to
not
go to Mr. Google and look up Richard Gardner,
oh, okay.
who brought
Mm.
in
Mm.
PASS, along with the AFCC, which Moncrief belongs to and so many of the other judges
When I
belong
was
to.
saying what I said,
So-
if my tongue was any further in my cheek, I'd be licking that computer screen over there. The fact
Okay,
of the
so
matter is,
let me just get this bit out.
please. do.
Okay,
Yep.
so Richard Gardner brings in the parent alienation syndrome. That
Yes.
was his baby, right?
Yep.
So, and if you go into Google and you go into and talk about Richard Gardner, you see some of the things that Richard Gardner quotes, and you can see
Sure.
where he's coming from, right? Very clearly. And he gives himself credibility because he's got all these published whatever credibility.
Sure, absolutely. Documents.
He's
sure.
self-published. He
Yeah,
put
okay.
up his own published center and he's self-published.
Okay.
So, as I said, you can see clearly where Richard Gardner's coming from.
Mhm.
And it's not in a very good place, right?
No, okay. I'm with
He
you.
has an agenda. So then you have Ralph Underwager. Ralph Underwager
Sure.
comes in and he brings in the false memory syndrome.
Right.
And if you research that, you'll see where that comes from too, because Ralph Underwager was president of Man Boy Lovers.
What?
And so he brings in the
So-
false memory
I want to
syndrome.
be sick because it's just the name.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, but the
So
name of it
this
tells me
is
enough.
one of the videos Mary and I have been working
Man
on.
Boy Lovers. They
Oh.
publish a book called Padika. It's all on pedophilia.
Yep.
The man's a pedophile. And so he brings in false memory syndrome. So children come and disclose, and he then becomes the court expert to say, oh, it's all a false memory. So when you look at the family court
Sure.
and you look at what's going on in the family court,
Mhm.
everybody's known for a long time children are being abused in the family court.
There was a case that I witnessed, and I actually watched the judge go out of their way, and actually multiple, even more frightening, the independent children's lawyer. One, I was sitting in the gallery and watching. Now, I know the facts of this case, so I have to be careful what I'm saying, but it was this, I mean, I did my research is what it came down to, but I'm sitting there watching it, and I watched an independent children's lawyer go out of their way to breach the recommendations of the parents to place a child with a known pedophile.
I'm not surprised.
And the particular judge is known for having a very interesting life outside court. Interesting life outside court.
Well,
Hang on,
to get back to
is that the phone box?
yeah.
I don't.
Anyway, to
I
get
don't
back
know about
to
that.
get
No,
back
when we're
to the
Your court case,
psychologist.
there's the person that looked like a phone box, a British phone box, bright red.
Oh no, it's not that person.
Yeah.
No, the one that was with that person.
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Hey, anyway,
so
sorry,
so
because
two
we're running out of time on this one.
can
so
I just finish just very quickly? Very
Go,
quickly.
go.
I'll speak
We're-
fast. I'll
Hang on,
speak
hang on,
fast.
Mary, you can say that.
You're right. So to get back to the psychologist I was talking about, who
Yeah.
had all these things, court recommendations that he's made in the family court, they found that he needed a forensic qualification, and they found he didn't have one.
Yeah.
So he closed his private practice, not his
Yeah.
public practice, his private practice, and they made him top dog in child protection over psychology.
Wow.
anyway, going back to your case, because we'll be really quick in this
We
one.
can't talk about my case.
Sorry, not your case, your submission.
Yes.
So when they said that they can't publish it because you've named people, there was two ways you could submit things.
Yep.
If you wanted to name people, you had to do it as a private submission, so therefore it wouldn't breach 121.
Yep.
If you didn't want to name people, then it could be made a public submission. It was actually part of the submission
Spot on.
documentation.
And I did it on both
So
ways. Exactly
They
right.
were absolutely full of shit.
Yes, I know.
So they should have straight up accepted.
Oh, look,
yours.
hang on. I'm the same guy who's walked into the LPCC and the Triple C with evidence of corruption in the family court, video evidence proving corruption in the family court, and then I've been escorted out because the LPCC is nothing but an agency there to protect corrupt lawyers. And if you want to really know why our politicians don't get off their fat asses and do anything about it, it's very
They're a
simple.
part of it.
Well, you know why they're part of it? Because if you look at, I'll give you an example. A particular person who's in a very, very, very powerful position in the family court, can't say who, but they wear a funny outfit. Their wife has got a large, substantial financial interest in a legal firm who literally, funny enough, has a lot of cases in the family court.
Mhm.
And they are a very large donor to a particular party here in Western Australia and a particular candidate. And funny enough, when I spoke to that particular candidate, I believe that smoke came from their ass as they ran from the building. This is completely, they are so corrupt. And the fact of the matter is our generally, not all obviously, but most of your politicians are bought and paid for. And when it comes to wanting change in the family court or any court system in this state or this country, the trouble you're going to get past is the fact that the people who are paying for those politicians to be in power are the criminals. Right?
I've taken a case into the Triple C,
Yeah.
and they have basically said, we've closed that case because we have no evidence. One,
Hang on.
they asked me no evidence. Two, we had 33 lever arch files full of evidence.
Sure.
We were never asked for evidence, just told closed.
Yep. Yeah, that's how they play.
So the thing is, I'm putting my political hat on here. The people who appoint the judges for the family law courts, the Supreme Courts, the High Courts, all that, you do know who they are, right?
Attorney generals.
No, it's the politicians.
Yes.
So a lot of this all stems from the politicians that people elect in. So if you have a problem with your judges, stop bloody voting for Labor and Liberals. So all these problems, and it infuriates me to no end when people say, "Oh, I've got no interest in politics, but this is crap, this is crap, this is crap." And it's like, well, the thing that makes the rules that allows these things in society, so between the education system, the policing system, every single structure that happens within Australia is all determined by politics. Politics is by far the most important thing in your life. And if you sit there and say, "Oh, I don't care about politics," like,
but
you're
isn't
idiot.
it true that maybe people didn't vote for Labor or Liberal?
Yeah.
However, they got in through the back door because of preferences.
Spot on.
Never voted for them in the first place.
Yep.
But they still got your vote.
Yes.
Correct. And I think this is where Mark McGowan seriously stuffed up with the changes to the electoral system, because as long as a party can get themselves registered, they only need 2% to get a member of parliament now in WA.
And how important is that going to be? Changing the balance of power in this state.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is all these people that have actually stood up, like in the past, you needed 14% to win a seat outright, next to impossible. So by abolishing all these regions, Mark McGowan seriously stuffed up. From memory, the first time no mandatory vaccination ran, they got 2.1%. UAP was at 4%. I think at the lowest point, One Nation was only like 1.8% out of our absolute lowest. The just most recent poll came through as 7%. So we're looking at three seats in Parliament. So we're not end up with a plethora of minor parties if they can just get off their ass and get re-registered. We're not end up with a heap of freedom-friendly politicians finally in WA, so we can actually start fighting them down toe-to-toe in the place that is most important for fixing these issues. But
well, the fact of the matter is Mark McGowan's done a plethora of stuff-ups. Let's face
hell
it.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Are you kidding? He's so competent. I mean, come on.
But he kept us safe.
But he kept us safe. You're right. I mean, look, he's the premier. Okay, he's the
he's the emperor of the empire of Western Australia.
Yeah, he is. But he's also a treasurer. He's the tea lady. He's everybody. He is daddy. Don't forget that, all right? You like just need to lay down your guns. He's a beautiful man. I'm so full of it. Edge Radio Australia. You can't say that.
Yeah, we did. All right, we do have some comments coming through on this one.
I bet you do.
Facebook user, I got to hang on. Just let me check the name. So a friend of mine and Mary's has sent me a message.
Oh dear.
Could you get Mary on again before the station gets sued? So Facebook user, I'm just trying to find the name. Here we go. So Chrissy said, "Overeducated idiots is what they are." So I'm guessing she's talking about judges. Fiona, WA Family Law Court is so so delusional that all it takes is for someone to get caught out for abuse and withdraw with no consequences.
Right?
Personal experience. Unfortunately, he got away with something no one should ever get away with. Sad face, angry face. So that's from Fiona.
Fiona's been.
Yeah. And here's going to be an argument I'm quite happy to make on air, and probably should. But
remember, you are on air. You're on Salt Brook.
Okay, on the
Still.
other side.
Yeah, we're still on Salt
Oh,
Brook.
well, right now it's just going.
So this is a special thing that for people who listen online, instead of getting music, because even though we've got license numbers running across the bottom of the screen, we still get copyright strikes taken down and all this other shit. So we've got to turn the music off when we shouldn't have to, which is an utter load of
So
shit.
if they hear 2 seconds of the music, they go, oh.
Yeah.
Copyright strike.
Even though we have given YouTube, Facebook, Stalkbook, all of them, all our licenses, they still take us down, which is infuriating us. And I personally think we should be getting a refund on the licensing because of it.
Because what good is it?
Yeah, there's no point in having the license, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, we're trying to do the right thing by the artists.
Yeah.
And here's the stupid thing about it, right? Okay, side note on this is everyone goes, "Oh, listen to my song on Spotify." If you've got a song on Spotify, you literally get paid about, look, it depends on what kind of artist you are, but between 0.01 and 0.03 of 1 cent for every time it's played. So if you're a really successful artist, you make about $20 a month.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm talking, if you're a
And
really,
that's when they're overplaying it.
yeah. And like, because of our license, when we play, it goes through a different system. And don't get me wrong, it's still a really low rate. That's much higher than Spotify. But people who are promoting Spotify, because it's become the norm, whatever, you are screwing the artists. You're absolutely
Yeah,
screwing
they
them.
make no money whatsoever.
No, no.
So,
That's why people listen to it so much.
so this is why I still think we should be.
Drink while
I'm good.
Um,
Thank you.
This is why I still think we need to get someone who designs websites that all the Perth local bands, so people can actually sit there and buy their songs through our
This is
website.
something you want to
Because if one
Yeah.
person buys a song, that's more than like 10,000 plays on Spotify and all that sort
and
of
then you
shit.
go and enjoy the song.
So
Without,
Can you deal with the artist direct?
no, you got to go through the record label.
Do you?
Because when a record label signs an artist, the artist no longer owns their music. So a
Yeah.
prime example of that was Taylor Swift. She had to re-record all of her songs because the record label refused to sell her tracks.
Wow.
Yep. And so she re-recorded them all underneath it. She made her own, I don't know if it was her own record label or she went to someone else, re-recorded all the songs, and then she reached out to all the stations and said, right, this is what's happened. Here's my music I've re-recorded. Please play this music, not the other one instead. And so the record label who refused to sell her songs make zero money. So, and because there were still contractual agreements that they still had to keep paying her, even though her music wasn't being played. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of record labels are mongrels like that. So, and that's why it's so important, especially, and this is why a lot of musicians these days do a lot of touring because they make more money touring now than what they do from actually making the song.
Yeah.
So they're
Nice,
becoming
like I
more
said.
performers.
Yeah.
So what's happening now?
We're talking.
I'm
about
offering you a
online.
sandwich. That's what we're doing.
So people can hear us talking about this as well.
It's all the crazy Japanese things. I just love the egg and lettuce. Hang on, are these like triple sandwiches or doubles? Just standards.
Oh,
So we're still on air
Yeah, we're still on air. So what we do, we go get the
and
microphone
eating sandwiches.
and we eat.
We're through this mic now.
this is the highlight of some people's lives.
Oh dear, pathetic.
Sometimes they watch us eating kebabs,
Oh really?
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day we were doing a show at Greater World, and we're talking about health at one stage, and we're eating pizza and drinking beer.
Dear, oh dear. You're going to come have some sandwiches. Oh.
How much time we got? So obviously with the people watching online, if you've got any questions, feel free to comment, or if there's any topics you want us to cover, because this is the people's show.
It is.
How communist did I sound?
What is that, comrade?
Drinking the red drink. I think we covered your topic already, Mary.
Nice sandwiches.
Thank you.
I made them myself. I put them in plastic container just to make
You know
them
what? We've totally jumped from what we were supposed to talk about straight into Mary's topic with that one. So I've got to bring it back.
bloody
Pull those
Mary.
microphones.
You've been nothing but trouble.
No, you're the one that caused it. You and your little tirade.
I have a tirade every show. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm standard.
Well, Christy wants a sandwich, so I might have to bring her something.
I don't know if that'd be too fresh.
I'm waiting for a comment from Gus to say, "Well, get in the kitchen and make one." Because he said a comment about
Christian,
like,
ask her, will it get you off the couch?
I'll wear off the couch. I made a very good comment. And
Oh, right. You came back.
Yeah.
Right.
you know what this reminds me of? When Scott Morrison said, "Oh, my wife said I have to take this seriously about the
Oh,
Higgins comments."
Yeah.
And it's like, hang on, who's the prime minister here? Like you or your wife?
Well, can we talk about the Reagan years? Or? And I'm a Reagan fan of sorts, a little bit. Well, his speeches, anyway. Maybe not his economics, but his speeches were good.
What did his wife write it for him?
Oh, Nancy Reagan.
She was.
She ran the show.
She ran the show. Exactly right.
I'm trying to
He
remember
was
the
just a
comedian.
puppet.
There's a comedian who was talking about how like first ladies were getting too involved in politics.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. And
Bill Burr, I love him.
was it Bill Burr?
Yeah.
Yes, and then he goes like, those Bushes, they really kept their women in line.
See what you said about
Wow.
the Bushes, but by God, they kept their wives in line.
And I heard it's like, no wonder like women around the world hate him.
No, because the thing about him, it's true comedy, right? Because he doesn't actually believe those things. He says them for shock value and all kind of carry, right? It's
Oh,
a
I
lot
don't
of
know. There's
I
a
don't
few
know.
follow-up ones.
I'm a big fan of his.
So the one I thought was funny when he was when he got his got a new girlfriend or current girlfriend or something. She was African American, and like he's like, oh, you're always just dripping moisturizer. What the hell? Why are you doing it? And she goes like, oh, because I don't want to be ashy. And
Yeah.
still talking about skincare.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
She
yeah.
goes, this is actually just like scraped the nails down his arms and all the skin flaked off. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it's like, yeah. I like him, but some of these things.
Oh, sometimes it's like anything.
I still like Josh Wolf better.
Josh Wolf.
The best practical joke
Oh.
ever. Like, that's just hilarious.
But it's
so
like
many
old
levels
Pedersen
of
says,
love.
right? You've got to risk being offensive, right? Okay, we're going to genuinely get discussions that we get things done, right? Okay, we have to push the envelope.
Apparently,
Otherwise we
the
just play safe
original definition of humor was to offend. So we'll just smack the microphone with the sandwich.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what most of the comedians do, isn't it?
Yeah, they're there to offend. The one I always loved is the midget. What do they call him? Little person, or whatever.
Mm.
And we was talking about how he got invited to go on a Apache. Was it Apache helicopter?
Yeah.
A Black Hawk.
Well, whatever.
And they said, "Oh, come on, dude, help me out," because he's all like 3 foot tall. And he says, "Oh yeah, we got the disabled step." And he presses the button. It's still up to like nipple height on him. And it's like, "All right, toss me." It's really funny because I used to work at Rigby's nightclub, Rigby's bar in the city. And so every Australia Day, until some woman complained about it, so I think she might have been the original Australian Karen, they had a thing called Toss a Dwarf.
I remember
And so they had a jumpsuit made up with 2 handles on the back of it. This dwarf used to put it on. And the competition, if you get Barker, whoever can throw the dwarf the furthest. And like some years he'd come with a Superman cape and all that sort of stuff. Like he had a blast.
And he made a fortune.
Yeah.
I like,
And that's the stupid thing about it. Like this Karen cost someone their income.
I've
and-
got a friend who
yeah.
used to be a grid girl many, many years ago, right? You know who I'm talking about. Built her whole career basically from that, you know, who she met and all kind of carry on. Absolutely one of the most amazing, intelligent people you ever come across. Love it a bit, right? And has built a very successful business around from that. And she's like so against, like, you know, how they're trying to stop grid girls and all of that, because that was her introduction.
What
to
is
the
she?
business.
A grid girl.
She was a grid girl, 30 years ago.
Okay. So I thought you said something else.
No, like, I mean, you look at a lot of women who have, I mean, I'm granted, there was thousands and thousands, and like anything, it's hard to get up to the next level. But she used that as a springboard to have the money, the connections, and whatever to build a successful business.
You know what's really funny? You know how I do all the editing for the finance videos?
Yeah.
A lot of the people who actually who order and do all the lessons about finance, the correct way to manage money and stuff like that. A lot of them are things like strippers or the adult entertainment people, because there's a lot of money and most of them don't know how to deal with the money, and they know their career is going to be very, very short.
So want to maximise
Yeah.
the value. Good on them. You
That
use
was
the
mine.
tools you've got
Yeah.
to create the
mine's on
success
the
you can.
And as Derek would say in The Greater Wealth, use the tools that God gave you. Oh, that was me.
Yeah. I thought I was on something. Yeah, obviously.
Stalkbook makes it loud so people can hear you
Yeah.
eating ASMR. I've lost my phone.
You can't ring it because
1.5 minutes.
No, it's underneath the remote control for the aircon.
Yeah, when we
Can
come
we
back,
actually turn it back
I'm
on?
coming back from the song Tainted Love.
All right.
Is it the Marilyn Manson version?
I
I have to say, the Marilyn
Living End.
Manson version
I love that
is
version.
so much better.
Yeah.
The
No,
video clip is seriously
This is
messed
the
up.
Living End version, the Aussie one.
Really?
Hmm?
I don't know why. I smell Vegemite in this.
I've always wanted to buy one of those trays.
Done?
They're from
Where-
Costco.
Oh, do that? Are they?
Yeah.
Nice sandwiches.
Almost empty. Could be enough.
When I was a chef,
Well,
there was a whole lesson on how to make sandwiches. A
Okay.
whole night we had to make all different sorts and pinwheel sandwiches and
Wow. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gagging on the sandwich. So Peter had a comment. I woke up this morning with a hoarse throat, so today I identify as a unicorn. I'm sorry, that's pretty clever. I'm trying to figure out. All right, I gave Peter a thumbs up for that one. That was good. So, and for the algorithms, ladies and gentlemen, please give us a thumbs up and a like and a subscribe. Is that
your
what they
friends?
call?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking mine to
Are you
see.
having fun, Mary?
Mm.
Cool bananas.
so we got
What are you, Christian? Oh, shit. We've got 10 seconds.
Oh, what's that?
10.
That's a fun one.
It's the
Ten
final countdown, baby.
Oh, thank you very much. It's Aaron with you. It is, of course, Edge Radio Australia. We're doing this little thing we like to call You Can't Say That. Notice I have to turn away from the mic when I do that. Yeah, you do. Throws you right back. With Christian over there. Christian, you've been quiet, mate. Oh, you're quiet because, quite frankly, you can't get a word in edgewise. I understand that because I've got this is one of my quiet ones. What are you talking about? Now, I joke, exactly. I literally saw this today in the row of all the shirts thinking, geez, that one's pretty bright. Well, you know what? When you've got someone, this beautiful flower next to me with Mary, okay, I have to work hard, okay? Oh, jeez. And, oh. Now I've just done it again. I just did that whole section without your mics on. So there you go.
Oh wow! So everyone's
my apologies.
That's probably a really good thing because my last comment was like
Yeah.
definitely below the belt.
I should actually probably level with everybody. I haven't been well, and I'm struggling a little bit, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So
This heat doesn't help.
no, exactly right. So the mind is not quite as sharp as it should be.
So I'm kind of happy that Rob's taken over tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
that's
might hit
probably
another
exactly.
loop. We're coming straight at it this time.
You're coming straight at it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we-
Okay. If I can give you some advice, keep away from that bloody handbrake. Okay. Just
Yeah,
keep
it's
that-
a bit sticky now. So
Oh.
So with this segment, where will we go?
No. We've got to actually go back. So we actually had a structure planned for this one. So all of what we were just talking about was supposed to be in the final segment. Because
Was
that
it?
way you guys can just go to town and I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'll see you later. And then you guys can sit there and argue. But
Okay.
no, what happened is we were supposed to actually talking about. So we spoke about what we were hoping to get achieved out of the
Sure.
family law court gathering that they organised.
Yep.
But I want to know, what did they actually achieve? Was anything actually done?
All right, hang on. What I'll do is I'll leave this with Mary and I'll go and get prepared and I'll be back.
What for?
Just Mary, you take over.
Are you?
Okay, so
This is
the
scary.
question was, did they achieve anything? No, that's the answer.
Nothing at all?
I want to wear that helmet when
You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot.
I'm ready.
No,
well,
you haven't
look,
got your mic.
I think obviously
All right.
You know what?
one of the main objectives was to get people to write a submission, right?
Can we get the Chat GPT to do it for us?
The water?
The AI.
Who's an AI? What's this an AI? Okay, shush. No, I
It's
don't
a
know.
young person thing. It's okay, Mary.
Okay.
Then fighting words.
Yeah, so I'll get back to sanity.
Mm. Mary might go me at any moment, you see, so I'm prepared.
No,
Okay?
you
She-
need your helmet for
she
the
might
last
turn
segment.
violent. What's that?
You needed it for the last segment.
I
Okay.
really did.
Honestly, you really need to know what happened here. Okay, because that's otherwise it just doesn't make sense, right?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay,
But
so
fill us in.
I got up to speak because I did feel at this meeting that it was somewhat a bit of a gender war where, you know, it was kind of a lot of focus on how men are alienated from their children. Now,
Facts.
I do not, before you start
Go on,
yelling
hit him,
at me,
Hit him. Hit him.
no,
I
he's
got
got
$10 on Mary.
Wrestling's coming to the radio.
So there you go. All right.
the point here that I tried to make,
Mm.
being the operative word, when I got up to speak, was that not only men are having to hand their children over to abusers, not
Sure.
only men are being told to have, you know, they can't see their children, it's women as well.
And I
It's,
agree.
Oh, yeah, for
it's
sure.
not a gender war, but I did feel that that meeting became something of a gender war. And when I did try to say so, there was a person
In a
Who
very
got-
loud shirt.
who was the other end of the room, fortunately,
Hmm.
that got sort of all
I like the term huffy.
huffy.
Aaron gets
I was
huffy.
going to say uppity or violent or
Oh.
Oh, I forgot words about it.
or
Words hurt.
obstropolous.
Ooh, that's a
Stroppy.
That's a big
Stroppy's a good
obstropolous.
description of you sometimes.
Obstropolous.
She
I
likes
feel
the
like,
S
you know,
words
the
today.
mammoth that was on Sesame Street. But there you go.
Well, you look like him too.
Words of violence.
Anyway, somebody
Hmm.
sort of took umbrage
Hmm.
and came in right on top of me, telling me I was wrong.
That was another segment earlier.
It was-
But I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
Yes,
I'm not wrong. It is not a gender war, and I do not think we can make it a gender war.
No, I wasn't saying it was a gender war. What I was saying is, and I will always maintain this, is here's the reality, right? Okay, I'm very, very proud of this, and we haven't talked about this, so I'll lay it out now. So I was working when I say working, volunteering. I didn't get paid for this, but okay, I was volunteering with speaking with men and women, okay, who were in really, really dark places, being an advocate for them, who were being alienated from their kids, right?
Mm.
And I'm incredibly proud of this. Okay, I've actually stopped 6 people from committing suicide.
I can believe it.
Yeah, five men and 1 woman. Okay?
You're driven to desperation.
Absolutely, and I literally once, and if you want to have a defining moment in your life, I literally took a noose off someone's neck, right? Okay.
Wow.
And like, whoa, and I'd never
it's
met
heavy.
this guy before in my life, I might add.
Yeah.
I was literally let know that this was going on. His address, I went to his address, front door was open, I walked in, and there he is about
Wow.
to do the jump
Mm.
off the stairs. And you're not the same person once you've seen that.
Mm.
Anywho, and what I'm getting at is I have saved a woman as well, and I'm very, very proud of that. Okay, now that is not how good am I? Okay, as I sit here with the bloody helmet on, look like an idiot, but it's not that at all. What I'm getting at, and this is the thing that
Really?
annoys me.
Really?
Yes, it annoys me greatly that unfortunately, when we're talking about issues about gender, that because these are gendered issues. Because domestic violence is not gendered because it does happen on both sides.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. But unfortunately, it's like, unfortunately, we live in a society now where women and women's activists, more to the point, actually, I'll narrow that down, women's activists hijack issues left, right, and center. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. When currently 76% of suicides are male, right? And all the funding from the Albanese government is going towards women's suicide. And that is because of those lobbyists. I'm so sick and tired of women from these groups hijacking it. Now, to me, when you were talking, I thought, here we go. And I didn't know who you were or what kind of carrier. I thought, well, here we go. Here's another one hijacking an issue that is mainly hurting men. Here are the facts. 84.1% of cases in the family court, a man will be erased from his children's as a father. You will be erased. 84.1. 52% of all children who spend more than 1 year alienated from the other parent, aka the father, never, ever, ever, ever have an overnight visit with their children ever again. Now, for me, it's coming up very soon. It'll be 7 years since my child was abducted, my daughter, okay?
Yeah.
Even my other children, it's even longer. With my daughter, she was abducted. Simple as that. Through absolute, complete, utter lies and the compliance and the corrupt behaviour of the system. I'll be very careful with
Well,
I say it.
let me interrupt for just a minute.
Yeah.
And when this did come up, and I think this is probably the most pertinent thing about that meeting, is the lies that are told
Yep.
in family court. Now, again, it's not a gender issue. Oh, you feel safe now? That's so good.
I've got a safe space.
Okay. The lies that are told, and this is not a gender issue because it's happening both
Yeah, but it's
sides.
not true.
That
No.
guy I explained earlier on,
Yep.
he lied his head off.
Oh,
He
look.
perjured himself left, right, and center.
Okay.
So what I'm going to say here is that if the judges in the family court,
Yep.
when a lie has been established,
Mhm.
whether it's a mother or a father,
Yep.
that lie needs to be referred to the police. That person that lied in the court is
Yep.
guilty of a crime and they should be charged. So why is perjury being ignored?
Well,
Why are there no consequences to perjury? Because if you think about it,
Mhm.
if they're charged for perjury, it's going to be a whole lot less people who are going to be prepared to
Right.
get up there and lie through their teeth.
You guys
Seven-
want a political answer to that one?
okay. You will get that in a minute. Right now, okay, I'll tell you right
So,
now.
so let me make one more thing.
Please do. Yeah,
I supported a man and I supported a woman.
Yep.
Totally separate, not at the same time.
sure.
Both of these people had orders in the family court
Yep.
that when they had access to their child,
Mhm.
they could not go to a doctor. So if the child was sick, they could not take the
How's
child
that
to a
the best for the
doctor.
child?
They exactly. Who is the family court about the children? I don't think
No,
so.
no.
They could not go to a doctor. They could not go to a psychologist. They could not go to the police. So even if that child is saying, I'm being half murdered, I'm being raped at home, the parent that had that child, and one was a man,
Mhm.
one was a woman, the guy, he had his wife had actually just abandoned the child, left it with a friend.
Right.
And when the department took the child to the father,
Yep.
that child disclosed he was being abused in the mother's house by a
Right.
cousin.
Okay. Okay.
And he went everywhere. He went to a person who worked for DCP. This one, that one, the other one, all made statements.
Yep.
DCP came, took the children, put them back to the mum. Okay, so he goes to the police. And the police write this down as a number one priority investigation.
Okay.
They go to the mum who won't let them in the door.
Right.
So they go to child protection and say, look, we need you because you've got more power than we do in this situation.
Mhm. Yep.
We need you to accompany us because we cannot speak to this child.
Yep.
So what does the department do? They turned around to the police and they said, we've already spoken to the mother and we don't think there's any abuse happening. And the police closed the file. And that man, she lied about his business. He lost his business. He lost his child. He lost his home. He was eating out of the garbage bins in the city. He had nowhere to live. He couldn't get Centrelink because she'd rung Centrelink and said that he's defrauded in his business. He's defrauding Centrelink. So she stitched him up to where he was homeless and eating out of bins.
Again, I've got to be very careful what I say. And this show, what it's called, you can't say that. Here's the ridiculous thing about it is that, I mean, I and I'm certainly not alone here. I myself and thousands other men and women in this state have absolutely not just credible, just cut and dried evidence that shows corruption. It shows children being abused. It shows who's abusing them, and
it doesn't. They don't look at it. They don't. They're not care.
No.
They don't care.
It comes back to terms of reference, and also now where they've got a system where the registrar, which is normally an ex-independent children's lawyer, decides what evidence can go in and out, and then it goes to the next level where the judge can do the same thing, and the independent children's lawyer has a massive amount of impact of what evidence can be on there. Now, let's just say hypothetically that let's just use just a complete hypothetical, right? They say this guy's got custody of his children and they're doing 50-50 and everything's great and whatever, okay? And then all of a sudden, let's say the woman just decides that, hey, I don't want custody anymore. I don't want him to have any custody, so I want him to disappear, okay? Then you know what you think, why? What suddenly happened? Something's happened. There's been a thing that's happened here, right? Now,
generally,
hey,
the male partner gets a new partner.
That is almost always the case. If you start seeing someone else, right? Game on, right? Now, if in the case of, say, in that particular scenario, right? Say hypothetically, that other person you actually had proof of cheating, for argument's sake, okay? Right? The registrar, the independent children's lawyer, and the judge get to go, well, hang on. The fact that person cheating on that other person completely 100% lines up with that person taking care away from the other one, right? I know, I'm sorry, I'm being descriptive.
You kind of lost me a little bit.
Okay. There's clearly a reason why the woman stopped the father from seeing the children.
Yeah, no, there was a jealousy thing.
And no one knows why, okay? No one knows why. Then later on, hypothetically, say it's discovered that woman was actually cheating on him and was actually pregnant to someone else. The family court get to decide, because she's a woman, and believe women, a woman's right to her sexual reproductive system is her right and no one else's business. Because of that, her cheating on her own husband or partner or whatever the case may be, that completely coincides with her stopping the children from seeing that parent, that father, is taken out of the evidence. So it's very clear what the reason is, and actually shows that in this particular hypothetical case, that the woman was acting in a vengeful way and a way, quite frankly, to hide her infidelity. Right?
Yeah.
So she was actually used the family court to hide her infidelity and was actually rewarded by the family court.
And look, I don't argue with you, and I would imagine that happens a lot. So what also happens is that men don't like paying maintenance to their wives.
Well, okay, on that front, you're spot on. So why? Okay, yeah. Now, why is the child support agency, why is it set up to incentivize parental alienation? Why? Because now where did?
Oh, it's not though. It's
It
not.
is.
No.
Oh, my word!
No, it is.
Well,
I'll get in on politics.
I
No, I'll jump in on this one because they do it by the nights spent, not
Yep.
time with the child. So you could have the child from the moment it wakes up in the morning. You could go to the parents' house, pick them up, take them to school, pick them up after school, feed them and everything, drop them off back out the home. So you've spent 100% time with the child. The mother comes home and sees the kid to bed, wakes up in the morning, then the father comes back the next day, picks them up, feeds them again. So the father's got all the expenses, but the money will go to the mother because the child slept at the mother's house.
You know, everything that's set up,
Mm.
be it child support, be it this, that, or the other, is sometimes is set up with the best of reasons because it. Well,
and I'm going to.
Well, hang on. No, that were because there is a situation where men are just not paying for their
absolutely.
children.
Yeah.
That's an
Completely
absolute
agree
fact.
with you.
So if you've got that, what ended up happening is the women can't afford. They're not getting maintenance. They're not getting anything, something to feed their kids from their dad. They can't afford legal fees, so they have to then get by as best they can, and the father walks away and he doesn't have to pay. So that setting something up like that, whether it gets screwed up and corrupted and misused along the way, which is normally the way of anything, they do need something that says if you're not paying for your children and the mother there is basically struggling in poverty and the children are in poverty, we're going to make you, who's on $200,000 a year, we're going to make you pay for your kids.
How many people are on over 200,000?
Well,
a year?
I'm plucking a figure out, whether it's 50, whether it's whatever. But, in that circumstance, I think sometimes we really make it a problem in that you make it an adult problem when the focus should be the children.
Of course it should be.
And what is right for the children, what's best for the children, how the children can best get through a situation where either they don't have mum or they don't have dad, how they can actually survive in that situation in the best interest of the children. And we've lost it. We've lost it completely.
I was young. I grew up in a single parent family, and I wanted my dad, but my dad didn't want to see me. My mum settled her what you're talking about, the
maintenance.
Maintenance. Yeah. And just to get him out of our lives took $20 a fortnight or $20 a week or something to look after me. And I didn't know that till I got older and stuff, but my mum fought tooth and nail, like you're saying, to try to look after me for a deadbeat dad.
I'm going to stop you right there. Most deadbeat dads are not deadbeat dads. No. And most deadbeat dads, that term is disgusting.
Yeah, no.
Right? Okay, in my life, okay, why should I pay? Okay, and I do pay child support, make no mistake, right? But why should I pay an incentive to a woman to keep me from my children, to lie about me, to destroy my business, destroy my life, to go and then, in my situation, 7 years on, she's still stalking me. I have to pay her a wage to stalk me. Now, and there's a little say, like, honestly, and there's far too many women now, right? And call me, here comes the misogynist thing, right? I'll be blamed for this. Carry on, right? But okay.
You want the hat?
If I could.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the reality. Far too many women now see this sense of entitlement, and is not going to the children. It's going on to hair, nails, and bloody everything else, right?
Yeah.
And fancy cars and whatever. Now, good people, doesn't matter about their gender, they look after their kids. Right?
Yes.
Okay, it's as simple as that.
Well, should.
Yep. Now, hang on. But when you've got a system, and I'll cut it right back to the basics. Right. How come, answer me this, how come dads, when they're thrown out of their kids' family and their lives, right? Why do they see them every second weekend?
Why do they see it? Because that gives the children a weekend with the mum and a weekend with their dad.
Nope. I'll tell you why. So 109 nights a year, ladies and gentlemen, there's the cutoff. So it is actually financial. So what happens with 100, now you'll notice it, okay, 2 weeks, it'll be 104 nights a year. All right. Okay. If you did that fortnightly, right. Okay. With the way it all rolls out. So long story short, that's time you take Easter and a couple of holidays with, Christmas and that kind of thing. It gets very close to 109 nights. At 109 nights, it pops over the edge, and then your child support jumps up to the next level, right? Okay. So meaning less. Sorry. So
Yeah.
if you say I had your kids 110 nights a night, okay, your child support will drop rather very dramatically. So women keep men at 100 under the 109 nights purely and simply so they get 100% of the tax of the family
family tax benefit,
family tax benefit A and B, and also the child support agency. And I'm sorry, but there are far too many women out there who are collecting child support. It's like the joke, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many baby daddies before you're a whore, right?
Mm.
The fact of the matter is, far too many women are out there now collecting baby daddies and collecting child support. My ex-wife is collecting child support from 4 different people. Okay, one of them has actually now passed away, right? So she got his super and a whole bit. You know why he passed away? Because he killed himself.
Yeah.
Because he killed himself from this kind of
Wow.
carry on. Okay,
Wow.
and make no mistake, and I say this, I look down the barrel of the camera with absolute comfort, right, saying this. My ex-wife said to me on no less than 7 occasions, "I will push you and push you until you kill yourself."
Oh my goodness.
And she's got form. Now, what I'm saying to you is, you know what? I'm the idiot for marrying a sociopath, right? Okay, I own my mistake there. Okay?
But you don't always know.
No,
you
no,
don't.
no.
You don't know. You don't marry anybody knowing that.
No, exactly right. And you don't. And I don't marry someone or meet someone, and I go into that relationship planning for failure. I go in there because I love that person. I love those kids. I want to make a family, right? Now you don't know that. Here is the reality. The reality now is the majority of women out there are doing this. The majority of women are treating men as a disposable as an income support system. Simple as that. It is disgusting. It is wrong, and it's got to stop.
Yeah,
and why I got upset with you the other night, okay, and I'll never, and I won't apologize for it because I apologize if I upset you, but I do. I'll tell you.
You
why.
didn't.
Good, and I'm glad, and that's probably why you're here because you've got a backbone, right? Because I get so sick of, as I say, of feminist organizations. Feminism is a disgusting thing now. Okay.
Look, I understand. It's such an emotive situation, and I understand anybody getting upset in the circumstances that you've had to go through. I totally agree. Totally empathize with it. It's a difficult situation, and here again, I really think we make a mistake when we try to make it a gender thing.
But it is a gender
no,
thing.
It's not a gender thing.
Sorry,
go get the hat, Aaron. Go get the hat. It's not a gender thing.
In the real world, it is.
The thing is, yes.
Do you know what? Okay.
Hey.
Oh, men get breast cancer too.
They do actually. Yeah, they do.
I've been tested.
My uncle got breast
cancer.
Hang on.
But it's not all men. It's not. The family court are not disadvantaged.
Yours are bitch tits.
Yeah. Or not every man in the family court, and it's not all men in the family court that are being screwed. Women are being screwed as well. Women are being screwed as well.
Steady. Get my little violin. It's just a small figure.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, whoa. At the end of the day, men are being screwed. Women are being screwed. Who's suffering in the middle? Who's in the middle suffering, whether it's a father, whether it's a mother, who's suffering in the middle? And that's where we've got to get back to. Not how many men, not how many women. What is happening with the children? These children need to be stable. They need to be secure. They need to be as happy as possible. They need to have mum. They need to have dad. If a mum is an abuser, no. If dad's an abuser, no.
But if mum is an abuser, the family court system will go out of their way to cover her abuse.
They do it with men as well.
No, I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree. Here's my point, and this is again, where everyone's going to go, it's misogynist. It's not the fact. I'm very about equality, right? Full scale about equality. But I also don't. Okay, I'm so sick. We live in this generation right now, okay, where we can't define where a woman is, okay, where we're going to go when a woman can go and stand at the urinal, okay. I'm sorry, that's bullshit.
Men can wear dresses.
Oh yeah,
and go into ladies' toilets.
Oh yeah.
Now, no, they can't.
And go into women's sports activities.
Which is disgusting and wrong.
That's abuse. That one. Men playing sports like football. That's just assault. But what I want to do quickly, I'm going to calm you guys down for a moment because we do actually have a couple of comments here. So first one is from Fiona. So again, legend Fiona.
Told you they love you.
Oh, they love me, not those two. So Fiona, for those receiving child support, they should have to should provide proof of what they are spending the money on. This is a personal thing now. I think there should be a kid's card which is only eligible for food, clothes, same as the welfare card. 80% of the money is because obviously not everything can be done on a card.
Sure.
Yeah.
So some has to be cash, but it needs to be something that is documented, receipted. So every time money is given
So it
by
doesn't go on
a
food
That
or
it proves
alcohol.
that proving that it
proves that it's
goes
going
to the
to the
benefit
kid.
of
Yeah.
the children.
Now, the
Yeah.
surplus should be put into a high investment savings account for the child under the child's name, not the parent's name, so the parents can't mess with their
But
money.
hang on.
That can be used on education.
Whoever
or
has the
future-
custodial parent is paying for gas, electricity, school fees,
Yeah, I get that.
clothes, haircuts. That
Yeah.
hey, there are expenses here that totally relate to the
a
child.
lot of the other parents is also helping with those
Spot on.
things as well. Now, if the custodial parent decides, you know what, I want to spend $20,000 a year on your education, but neither of the parents can afford it, does the other parent have the right to argue over that? I know people have been put up for domestic violence on arguing over whether to send a child to private school
you
or
know,
not.
this is
So,
where it gets so
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah.
It is stupid. So anyway, keep going. There's more to this
Well, I
statement.
want to quickly
There's,
throw
no,
something
wait.
into-
There's more to the statement. So the viewers take priority. So
Yes,
shush.
correct.
You three got
Shush,
to rage
be
at each
told.
other for a bit. So shush. Is for the child. So spend it on the child and provide receipts for such expenses. Okay, and we've also got another one
On
here.
that, can I just
think-
butt in? It's Fiona. I live with Fiona. I've
Right.
seen her budget.
Yep.
And she's got, I'm not going to go into her personal
No, please
deal
don't.
to us, but she's got a sum of money that's for her child that she doesn't touch.
Good. You know what?
And it's there for when she,
Fiona sounds like a top
Grows
chick.
up,
She
yeah.
seems to actually get it.
yeah,
She seems to understand.
she's
that
very
that's
young. She's been through a lot.
right.
She knows what her children need
Yeah.
and where the money's spent. Like for the car on the weekend, we had a car accident recently.
It's
Yes,
funny
I
she's
remember.
talking about the car because the next comment's actually about the car.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she wiped out our car. Who cares? It's a car. It's a possession.
car.
Oh well.
Yeah, the car.
Well, Christy
Well,
cared.
just wipe your
Yeah.
tears. Wipe your
No,
tears.
they're Christy's tears, and
Yeah.
we replaced it. But yesterday we went out and bought her another car. Now the money she used, some of it was from her childcare, and she goes, "I feel bad about that." I said, "Why?"
But
You
that's to have a transport for the child.
For the
That's
child.
right,
Yeah.
and
That's
get
exactly
them to and from school.
No problem there. No issue.
And her anxiety of getting a car has put her under a lot of mental health restraints lately. And on the mental health stuff, is one reason. There's another person you've saved, and that's me.
Okay. I did not know this, but all right.
No, I'm just segueing here. She Be Right Racing is all because you said yes to co-driving to me and
Really?
stop me committing suicide.
Oh
that's
wow.
I-
deep.
So, like when you
Well,
went through
wonderful.
that, there's a reason
Yeah.
you're in my car. Is I'm helping you, but you helped me.
Well, I love you for saying that, man. And I'm
And look,
speechless at
isn't
the moment.
hey
That's
wait,
pretty
isn't
cool.
that the way it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
And just
is
for
supposed to be.
viewers, we're cousins in a really
random way.
random way.
So what's really funny because the comment comes through, I haven't hunted down the name yet. So it's another Facebook user. I'm guessing it's Robbo. Hey, here I am a Robbo. I am not touching that handbrake tomorrow. Christian is banned.
That's my co-driver.
Exactly.
Did you put that in there?
I can't race tomorrow, so Rob's going to.
Oh, the Robbo. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Robbo's stepping in, and he's not going near my handbrake, obviously.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, we've been discussing you. on the
yeah,
pod, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
all right. But
So,
it's-
getting back to what you were saying,
yeah.
your Fiona is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's obviously very frugal and she's doing, a really good
so-
job.
well, she's had
However, I'm just going to say it's relative to how much money that you've got,
Yeah.
because some people do not have a large income.
Yeah.
They're living week to week,
Mhm.
and they just don't have that extra money.
And-
They're
and back to
scratching and
where I
they're,
offended you earlier. Me saying deadbeat dad was, I didn't feel my dad was doing enough to support my mum.
Yeah.
And
no.
I got abused by my dad,
I'm sorry.
not sexually, but I finally got to get that
Lots
weekend.
of ways of abusing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got to finally go away and work on a car with my dad.
How
I got
was-
punched for it.
what?
So
Whoa.
the next time he swung at me, he didn't end up in a good position, and I was a
Yeah,
12-year-old boy.
You have to be
good.
big enough and old enough to do
And-
that.
He took me back to mum. Oh, he's a troublesome child. He's this,
Yeah,
this,
don't
this,
wanna know.
this. And I came out of the bedroom and stood there in front of my mum. Piss off, get out. You're not the father I need. My brother is.
Yeah.
And my brother's, you've met my brother.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like we've had troubles
Yeah,
recently,
of course.
but he got
All
me
right,
into
it's family,
motorsport.
it's family, yeah.
And he didn't want to be my dad, but he was in
you
my
step
eyes.
up, you step up, right?
Yeah.
It
and
takes a
that's,
family to raise
You get
a child.
a single
Sorry,
single
Achilles.
parent family, and the dynamics have to change.
But it was good for me to finally stand up and protect my mum because I was the young.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What?
And this is the thing, okay? So I stand here or sit here and I defend men because I hear all of these lies constantly, right?
Mm.
But I'm not going to defend that man, okay?
No,
because
exactly
you know
not.
what? He's a piece of crap. And I wouldn't. And if it was a situation where it was him versus me kind of thing, I would say that to him right there in his face, and I'd tell him exactly what.
You
he
know
could
what?
do,
My
right?
mum would have grabbed him and threw him out the window like she did.
I mean, look, that guy's a lowlife, but does that mean he should not have to support his child?
Of course, he should support his child.
Of course he should.
Yeah.
And therefore, we get back to what we were talking about
Yeah.
before. He's not going to do that voluntarily. Something has to be put in place to
And
say,
as soon as he got told,
you
you
have
can pay
to
20
pay
bucks, he was
for
out
your
of there.
child.
Okay,
The
but
biggest
okay,
one-
no, personal story time here, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I want to do.
Many years ago, I was a single man and I was out there and whatever. Now I met this girl, and anyway, long story short, it's all going very well. And then she starts having a little conversation with me and telling me she's, to come over to her place because she's got this fantastic new patio by the pool, just spent all this money, spent 50 odd grand on the outside. And she's got all this great stuff. And for me to come and enjoy it with her. And I said, oh, that sounds pretty cool, where's, whatever. And she goes, yeah, my ex just got a job up in the mines. I'm cleaning up. I'm absolutely cleaning up. And I was like, bye-bye, right? Like instantly, I couldn't have been more turned off, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't care about your children. She was all done up with the fancy hair, the fancy nails, and all the kind of carry on. She was so excited. Now, I've also recently in my life, relatively recently, a few years ago, that other person I said that committed suicide. I saw the fact that when they made little money, how they weren't. There was no limitations put on them seeing the kids and whatever. The moment that person became qualified and their money went up through the roof, instantly they couldn't see the kids, and not by their doing, by this woman's doing. The woman put all these restrictions so seeing the kids and took him to court straight away, right? And that's the problem. Child support is financially incentivized parental alienation. And I'm sorry, no matter what system you've got, because you do need a system. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. You do.
But the problem is the system has been designed thoroughly to be misused and abused. And the problem is whenever you've got lawyers involved, the systems, people always go, oh, the family court's broken. No, it's not. The family court is not broken. The family court works perfectly for and by those who designed it. It is made to make money for the lawyers, the legal businesses, the psychologists, the expert witnesses, all of these horrible, evil people that should be living under bridges. These people, these truly evil people, they are the people who make the family court. They are the ones who make the rules, and they do not make it with children's best interests at heart.
They don't.
Quoting me, don't you, on that one?
Mm.
The system works perfectly the way they designed it.
Exactly right.
So I'm going to quote Robin Scott here, former Honourable Robin Scott. Doesn't matter what the system is. He was actually talking about voluntary assisted dying, the bill. Doesn't matter what the system is. Some clever cookie is going to find a way to manipulate it and change it to their benefit. Doesn't matter what the system is. It will always get abused. One thing I hear a lot of people complaining about, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, but there's no real solution. No one has ever actually come forward with a solution that will work. A couple of things I would love to see. First of all, perjury in the family law court needs to be actioned.
That would make a huge difference.
Because people know that if you lie in the court, it needs to have a mandatory 5-year jail sentence on it, something severe.
Absolutely.
It's 7 years.
So people would think twice before lying on
prosecuted.
affidavits
I
and
think
lying as a
7's a
witness.
little bit severe, but a minimum of 5 years sentence. The problem is you're pulling a parent away from a child for 7 years at
And
that
that is
point.
a terrible thing.
Yeah.
The other side, hang on. Okay.
Depending on what's happening with that
they're away
child.
from the kid.
No, they're not. No. So there's
they're not. They take them to jail. Take kids to jail.
Whatever, I don't know. Whatever the one is, the prison out there near the Swan Valley, right?
Kids should have nothing to do with jails.
Okay.
No, they shouldn't.
I'm telling you right
Visiting
now.
is fine, but no.
Here I sit as a man who for 7 years hasn't seen his children, can't see his children, can't have any contact whatsoever, can't send them gifts. Okay?
No, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I know, but don't you realize I'm dangerous?
Gifts
Don't
are
you know?
violent. Yeah,
You're
you're
not
right.
dangerous.
right?
Xavier
You're
loves
dangerous
you.
to trees.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yes.
When it comes to this, and your ex-wife, the mother of your child.
No, she's not even the mother of my child.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that doozy. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So going further,
Yep.
Well,
section 121 needs to be deleted.
Deleted. Bingo.
Just gone.
Okay.
Because if people get caught out on their lies,
Yep.
they're less likely to do it. there's
Spot
a
on.
thing. If they have to be
Accountable.
answerable to society as a whole, they're in trouble.
Of course.
So obviously redact the kids' names and stuff like that, but they should be able to be spoken about. And the other thing is, you can't have lawyers making judgments on lawyers. You can't have judges ruling judges. The self-auditing system when there's a complaint just does not work.
Hang on. I know of a case in the family law court where the person whose complaint was made about a judge.
So it went to the same judge.
It went to that judge to make the decision on whether or not the
Well,
case was.
I mean, it's the same with Moncrief.
Yeah.
You know, Moncrief took the two little boys, sent them to a dad in the family court, takes the case on for the other child.
Yes.
There's a prejudice there, right? There's a bias here. You need to recluse yourself. What did he do? He went on 6 weeks holiday, come back and says, I'm not reclusing myself.
Wow.
Yep. So things.
Moncrief is a very special judge.
Special
Hey, Mary.
in inverted commas.
Glenn's just sent a message. You can't say that.
I'm afraid it's a bit late.
It's a bit late.
And we don't have a dump button either.
The
I'm sorry.
toothpaste is out of the tube.
So, hey, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and I don't care. We'll keep going.
Yeah.
There.
Hey, I might have stuff to do.
can't
But
say
no.
that.
So the
Okay,
seriously
so
thing is,
so I do have a question.
Yes.
yes, I
were
do like
you-
Panther.
Were you not able to refute the allegations that were being made against them? I don't know what they are,
Yes.
but were you
Yes.
not able
Yes.
to refute
I was
them?
able to refute them.
So it gets back to whoever is adjudicating in that situation has not taken any notice of the proof of lies and perjury, right?
Yes,
So whose fault is it?
it is. I can't say now. Right. All I can,
Isn't this accumulative?
So for
She's
the people
lying, so
listening
it's her
online,
fault, right? She's got an agenda. She's lying. She wants to achieve whatever goal she's looking for.
Yep.
But if you're able to prove what she's saying is wrong, like Travis was saying, that should then go and become a criminal charge.
no, it is.
And
It
not only
is.
that, but the evidence that you are able to present, like it's in a court of law,
Yep.
So
Right.
I've
should
got
say
info on that
basically
one.
at
Hang on,
the
I'll
end
jump
of
in
the
on this one
day,
because Pauline Hanson herself actually went through to the federal attorney general and said, "Why aren't perjury in the family law court being handled?" At the time, Malcolm Turnbull was the prime minister. She was requesting a total overhaul of the family law court. Malcolm Turnbull's response was, "It's too big of a job. I'm not doing it in my term." He ran away from it because it was too big of an issue. He
Yep.
didn't want anything to do
I
with
mean,
it.
it is a
And
huge
then the
issue.
attorney
It's a
general at the time,
massive
I think
issue.
it was Porter,
Christian Porter.
turned around
Ew.
and said, if we started actioning perjury in the family courts at the rate that it's actually happening, we would tie up the family law court for generations.
Exactly. The reality is, and this is a fact. You want the numbers? I like the numbers. The numbers here, right? 2 cases of perjury get heard per year, and they have to be. They actually have to be approved by the Attorney General, whether it be a state issue. That would be Quigley. If in the case of before it was Porter, and now I don't even know who it is. In the case of Christian Porter, probably the most corrupt piece of dog shit of an Attorney General we've ever had in this country.
For the first time, I'm not arguing.
Oh,
We could get along, Mary.
Yeah. Oh.
I actually quite
Oh,
like it.
where's the heart emojis and the rainbows and look at the twinkle in their
He needs
eyes.
a filter on his face right now.
It's kind of funny because you guys were talking about stimulating each other earlier.
Shut
Oh, you had
up.
to go there, didn't you?
Oh,
We need to
God.
wrap this up.
But I took evidence.
So here
But come
again,
on, Christian
whoever
Porter
you
called
took
it
evidence
anti-terrorist police on you.
to,
That's exact. No, Mary, you need to know this, right? So
who did you take evidence
Hang on,
to?
hang on. Oh, I've taken the evidence to the court, the Triple C, the LPCC, and then I also CC'd Christian Porter in as my local member, right?
Not
'Cause I was
BCC,
pissed, right?
CCC.
CCC. This is what there's life corn chips. You can go to Doritos, but okay. I
Smiths are
CC'd
better.
him into the.
So all of those
Yep.
who have the responsibility
Yep.
to look at that, adjudicate it, and deal what is the best for the child,
Yep.
didn't do it.
No, what they did is this. Christian Porter then sent the anti-terrorism police to my house to question me for sending him an email which actually outed one of his donors.
Dog.
So, look, what are we saying? What are we saying? At the end of the day, to summarize, what are we saying? Family court's bloody screwed.
Can't
And the
say that.
politicians are scumbags.
This is the thing.
Hang on,
We
how
can't.
come everything
we
keeps
actually
coming back to
cannot-
sexual connotations?
I know.
It's because of you.
No, you're the one that
No,
said it.
because of you.
It's all the one that said it,
Something
Mary.
about Mary.
Yeah, something.
They're ganging up on me.
Oh,
That's
I
a
think we
sticky
need to- I think we
It's
need
funny.
to-
The Facebook user just turned around and said, "I'm stimulated now."
Thanks for coming.
Oh, this has been a very, very, very entertaining bit. You're coming back, aren't you, Meryl?
Yeah, I'd love to
Okay.
come back.
Facebook user also said, "Who is the stimulating lady on the couch?" Ha ha ha. So I think we've got a new favorite here. So
I think we
Mary,
might,
we seriously need a show.
You
So
got your own
her
fan
name
base.
is Mary.
Yeah,
We need
you're-
something about
Thank
Mary.
you. I guess I probably know you, whoever you are.
Ha,
Okay,
Aaron's mic's off. Thank you,
It's
Glenn.
not. It's not. My mic's on.
Is it?
Yeah,
So-
maybe check, but yeah.
Glenn's saying that he can't hear you.
Oh, okay. No, I'm definitely still here. I'm just silent for a minute, Glenn.
Is it?
Oh, is that
It's
a
because
first,
your
is
shirt's
it?
too loud. No one can hear
That's
you.
what it is.
So,
All
yeah.
right. Now, I believe you have something to do, my friend. So I'm going to end the show so you can
Well, it's
go
actually
do your-
Mary's got something to do.
Oh,
But yeah.
very true.
So-
So with that, I want to thank you, Christian, for showing up.
I
My
jumped in the deep
apologies,
end
mate.
here.
Okay. Yes, welcome to the Thunderdome.
Yeah. Bring me back for drive time. I know more of that.
You know what? Can you imagine Mary next to Uncle Kenny?
Oh, jeez, that'd be magic.
Who's
Let's
Uncle
do that.
Kenny?
Oh, you'll find out next week.
To be
Right.
continued.
Absolutely.
So, to the people
Oh.
listening online, make sure you come back and also like, share, subscribe. This really does help to annoy Facebook. So please do it just
absolutely.
purely to piss off
Oh,
Zuckerberg.
Fiona would love that.
And Uncle Kenny is staunch.
Staunch is the word, yes.
Staunch.
Before we go, can I make sure? I promised Xavier I'd say hi to him.
Absolutely, mate. Go
And,
for it.
Xavier,
Xavier, legend.
right, your
Yeah,
point
hi,
system
Xavier.
is back to 0 now. He will understand this.
Cool.
And
I like
I
Are
expect
points
dinner on the
good or
table
bad?
when I get home.
this.
Okay, is lots
Points
of points are good or no points are bad?
No points are good.
No points are good. Okay.
So
Right.
Can he have negative points?
he can.
So if you know
This
what, Xavier,
conversation is
I am
pointless.
I am
Come on,
going
move
to
on.
reward Xavier
Tesla.
with 5 negative points for liking and sharing this. He's probably
Oh yeah,
legit.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Look
Well
at that.
done,
So you got
Xavier.
a fan now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? Everybody who likes and shares, we're giving points to Xavier.
Are
So
we
nice
giving
work, yeah.
points or taking points? Let's see
So
how
we're
many.
taking points off for Xavier.
So
that
how
he gets
minus
rewarded.
can Xavier get?
We just keep giving, don't
You
we?
can't
It's the end of the
say
show,
that.
guys. We're leaving. We can't say that. Thank you, Shave Monkey. I really appreciate your time. And
This has been great.
Thanks, Christian. And a big thank you. All jokes aside, honestly, Mary, it's been an absolute pleasure.
It has been
And,
fun.
Looking forward to getting you back in. And
Happy to come.
this is a wonderful thing to be able to have discussions with people. And end of the day, we're going to walk away and you have a laugh, and you know we can still be friends.
Of course we
Yeah.
can.
And I love we're passionate. We're passionate.
Oh, did I miss it?
Oh, I've had enough of you two. Really have. Okay, get in the corner. It's time we get out of this place. It's Radio Australia, which isn't playing for some reason.
You can't say that.
Something's jumping all over the.
Check it and see. I got a fever of 103. Holly and Rose were reunited. This time they said it was for real. She'd take him back to where it started. He would melt a heart of steel. Life is a bitter disappointment. She would hear young Holly.
Hey, Aaron, is that a case of wrong hole?
Oh.
Okay, now we've got to change the studio.
case of losing.
User error. Oh, who sent that one? Oh, Robert, you legend.
Oh, yeah, Robert be on.
Damien said he liked it. So Damien's the one who wanted to know who the amazing lady was. So welcome to the show, Damien. Oh, one of their kiddos is sick. Yeah, Estelle's sick.
Oh, really?
No, it's just one of those kiddie flu things, so it should be fine. I just love that user error. Big hello to the Indian guy with the Hawaiian shirt.
India.
Yeah, you know Aaron's Indian, right?
Oh,
Haven't you noticed when he walks, his head bobbles from side to side?
He does that in the car when I drive too.
What, before or after you bounce off the toilet?
Yeah, well, that's just true.
So now, Aaron's mic is off. So Glenn, thanks for tuning in, and also make sure everyone hits the like, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff. You guys all have been absolutely amazing tonight. So thank you for tuning in, having a good old laugh, shits and giggles. You fiver. Yeah, but the five's an S. Sorry, Facebook user. Who was that? Robert. Is that user?
Yep.
Yeah, user.
Yeah. That's my co-driver, Rob.
Yeah. So what's the user? Is that a number plate? You fiver.
Who did copy?
Are you still
User.
online then?
Yeah, of course I'm still online.
Rob's put user on there.
Your favorite? Who's the favorite? Who did coffee? I love the translations, like because Facebook does the things. So when it picks up,
Oh yeah,
something,
some of the translations are make it even more funny.
favorite did coffee.
I don't really need my button in front of the screen. Okay.
Whoever lies, everyone wants to see that. I just love how you're putting other people's emails up on the screen. I don't know, like for the people watching online, U5 error.
No, they're not other people's emails. Thank you.
User error.
You had me frightened for a
It's
second.
user
though.
error. He's trying to be.
Oh, I get it now. I'm not hip enough to do that.
Oh, Rob, you got him.
That's what I said. User error.
You were right the first time.
Yeah. See it's up on screen. Come on, Robbo, get your act together, mate. That deserves a
Well-
like and a share.
Well, you're making points for Xavier there. My son's gonna love that when I get home.
I wonder how many we can get him. All right, so on that one, if you guys have any
What did you
questions,
get with
let us know.
points?
Oh, he was being. It was way of keeping on the straight on the weekend. It changes from week to week.
He gets a reward for so
Yeah,
many points.
yeah. But last time
Hey,
when
if
we
it works, why
crashed, he got grounded, so he's allowed to come to every rally.
As long as you don't crash.
Yeah.
Did you get grounded for crashing?
I grounded myself. There was funds not allowed till I did a few things around the house.
All right. So we're not getting any questions come through here. So we'll be here the same bat time, bat place, hopefully with an air conditioner next week.
Yep.
It's bloody hot in here. So 4 o'clock WA Standard Time. I don't know what they call it, +8 or something.
Yeah.
4 till 6. Any topics you guys want to spoken about, make sure you chuck it into the comments. Everything's free game on this show, except 121 because Aaron's already been jailed for it once. We don't want to send him again. He can't crash with me as in the passenger seat tomorrow. I'm guessing that's Robbo.
Yeah, it's Rob. Yeah.
Robbo.
He's going to keep me straight.
You've got kids. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Can you swing that way? You must be Mason
I'm his
Smith.
semi-adopted father. So he said daddy first, and I've looked after him since he was 3 with Christy. So
So what's that make you?
I'm his
Dad.
dad.
A legend.
Yep. And he loves motorsport. So
Yeah, you're his dad.
Yeah.
The one that's there caring for it and providing for it.
oh, he
That's
loves the
dad.
race car as
Oh,
well.
is the race tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was like next week or something.
No, it was meant to be on Thursday, but
Sorry,
Motorplex double booked us with some Streets of Outlaws or something. So
Okay. Well, good luck for tomorrow.
thank you.
Uh,
And I do it for mental health. That's what She Be Right is. When guys say She Be Right, normally
she
it's
won't
not.
Mm.
So, and it's a bit of a gag. Even when we crashed, it was like, oh, is that She Be Right? We'll fix it with cable ties and stuff. But that's what men do. We cable tie ourselves together and not tell.
we bowl it up until it explodes.
Yeah, and that was a true story. What I said earlier is when Aaron said he'd co-drive for me, and Christy said I can turn my car into a race car.
Mm.
It was saving me from bad.
Got a comment for you, mate.
Oh, that's going to make me cry.
What does it say?
It's between him and her.
Oh, okay.
That's the stepsister, right?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, she's family, and
Okay.
they're without a home at the moment, and they're living with us. So because of the rental.
Yeah. Yes,
So we're working on something with a couple of investors, so we might have something for that shortly.
All right.
But yeah, it's the Shire's been a pain in the ass.
Yep.
So once we can get around the Shire, we could potentially have 7 houses coming up.
Okay.
So, but it's could be 6 months away yet.
Yep.
Don't know. It's the council that we're dealing with. The biggest problem is at the moment, a lot of councils are very stringent on what you can and can't do.
Yep.
And this doesn't even affect the environment. So we're trying to get we've got access to about 35 acres of land in the metro area. And so we want to put Did you ever watch The Block?
Yep.
So there's a
Block
company. Fan. Okay, you know when they did the rural ones and they had all the tiny houses?
Yeah.
Well, I know the guy who actually makes them.
Oh,
so
right.
he's offered to send 70 of those houses over to WA to alleviate the rental
Christian
problem.
said that is what WA needs.
Yeah, so we're actually trying to organise it, but at the moment, the only thing that's holding us up is the local council. So, anyway, so on that note, I'm going to leave it to
Somebody
you.
else there that's a fan.
Yeah, Glenn gets down to all the racing events and stuff like
cool.
that. So, no, he's cool. And he's actually a really good cameraman as well. So,
Yep.
All right, on that note, I'm out of here. So,
Me too.
ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in, listening to our waffle, and we'll talk soon. Ciao.
Ciao.
So that's that camera there.
Yep.